Mark Winkelman threw an inning during what was really garbage time as the Jays lost that first matchup with the Bears in this tournament 10-3. He went an inning, only threw 4 pitches. So really it's like he hasn't even thrown this week. And he is the best rested Jays pitcher so far. And on a day like this, where you're now playing your 5th game in this tournament, the first time, though, all week, you can say you're actually playing a solo game on a single day. Remember, the Jays got pushed back from Tuesday, had to play their first-round game early Wednesday, then came back, lost the nightcap late at night to these Missouri State Bears. Then yesterday, as you have to do through the loser's bracket, win the early afternoon game, and then come back and win the nightcap. So, will fatigue be a factor, especially for Creighton? This being their 5th game in 3 days.
I think we'll find out early.
Aaron Conway to lead it off for the Bears. Conway hitting an even .500 in this tournament. Missouri State hitting .352. They are 100 points better than the next team as ball 1 misses high to Conway. He led off the 9th with an infield hit but was stranded at 3rd with the game-tying run. There's a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Conway, .332 on the average, 3 homers, and 32 runs driven in. Swung on and hit towards left field. Clay Kuno is over in the gap. He makes the catch, 1 away.
Wind blowing in from straight center field in a cooler afternoon. No sun anywhere to be seen. It's been a weird Valley tournament. We had 1 day of sun.
If you didn't know any better, you'd think that the Valley was holding a preseason tournament in March. A big difference in weather. Yesterday was a gorgeous day. Today it's overcast again, but no rain is threatening, so we should be okay. Ball 1 misses inside to Kevin Medrano. Medrano, .317, no homers, 34 driven in. He's only hitting .250 in the tournament. There's a slow chopper, but it's going to be wide of the bag at first. And the count is now even at a ball and a strike. Mark Winkelman getting the start to get the Jays off to a good start. The veteran lefty, and the pitch is swung on, hit towards left field. That's going to drop in front of Kuno for a 1-out base hit.
Yeah, left it up in the zone a little bit. Good piece of hitting by Medrano. So he just serves it up to left field right in front of Kuno. Fought off pretty decent pitch, but it was left too high in the zone, and Medrano's able to put it in play.
Second best base stealer on the team in terms of numbers, but the best in terms of percentage of anyone who has more than 10 attempts. 13 of 15 this year is Medrano, and he's got a good lead over at first. Winkelman, the lefty, will give him a toss over to first. The defense for the Jays. Scott Thornburg behind the plate. Nick Judkins at first. Alex Staley at second. Jimmy Swift at short. Chance Ross at third. Outfield. Clay Kuno, Mike Gerber, Trevor Adams, Brock Chaffin. Left-handed DH stands in. .350 average, 6 homers and 37 driven in. The .350 average tops on the team. 6 homers, second most. 37 runs batted in, second most. And he's going to lay down a bunt. It's a shallow bunt towards the mound. Catcher covering, and the throw is in time. So interesting decision with 1 out to go ahead and sacrifice. But that does give the hot-hitting Brent Seifert an opportunity. There are 2 out.
I don't know if I understand that move. It's not like Chaffin has good speed either. He's not bunting to try and reach via a bunt base hit, John. It's bunted right back to in front of the mound anyway. I don't understand that.
Brent Seifert hitting cleanup today. And the first pitch to him, breaking ball, misses low and outside. Seifert's average at .295, 9 homers, 43 runs batted in. He leads the team in those latter 2 categories. In the tournament, he is 6 of 14. 3 of the 6 hits are doubles. Here's the pitch, and it's a bouncing ball to short. Should be out of the inning. A nice high hop to Swift. Across the diamond in time, and the 1-out base hit left by the wayside. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. The Blue Jays coming to bat. You're listening to Blue Jay Baseball. On the first pitch he sees, Alex Staley pops it up behind home plate, and Brent Marshall sheds the mask and makes the catch right in front of the screen. So one pitch and one out for Grant Gordon, the right-hander from Salem, Missouri, the sophomore, who started last Saturday against the Jays, went 3 1/3 innings, gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. He struck out 3 and walked 1. He's usually not asked to chew up a lot of innings. Here's Nick Judkins, and he'll take outside, ball 1. Judkins at 223. In the tournament, just 2 for 13. But he had the sac fly RBI last night that scored the game-winning run.
Still, that's a mistake in my mind that Missouri State made on that play.
2 balls, no strikes to Judkins. Takes high, ball 3.
Well, there's a runner at first and third in that situation, but the ball was fouled down the left field line, and racing over was Derek Mattea to grab it.
Here's the 3-0, and he walked him on 4 pitches. Blue Cross, Blue Shield of Nebraska walk because walking works. And the Jays have a man aboard with Jimmy Swift coming up.
And the situation was, John, that there was just no way the angle that Mattea could catch it, correct himself, and throw home in time with anything on it to retire a very good runner in Chance Ross.
His throw was to the first base side of home plate and up the line, and there was no chance to get Chance. Here's Swift, and it bounces in there. Marshall, though, makes the block and keeps it in front of him. Defense for the Bears. Aaron Conway in center. To his left is Derek Mattea, who we were just talking about. Spiker Helms to his right. Infield, Luke Voigt, Kevin Medrano, Travis McCormack, Brent Seifert at third, and Marshall catching. Fastball rides high and inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. That is 6 straight out of the zone by Grant Gordon.
7, really. Alex, I think, swung at a high fastball, and he popped it up right away.
Flags are blowing in. Not as good of a hitter's park today. That's ball 3 low. Gordon has a he kind of snaps that leg kick and has a pretty aggressive delivery home, but so far he has missed. 3 balls and no strikes, and the pitch. Fastball taking all the way is Swift, and it's 3-1. Jimmy 5 for 16 in the tournament. He has a triple and an RBI. Runner at first, 1 away. No score in the first, and the pitch. Fastball in there, and now the count runs full 3-2, and we'll see if Judkins is running here to stay out of a possible double play. There is only 1 out. The 3-2, he does run, and it's a called strike on the outside corner. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
No, he's
Josh
safe, John.
Shepis.
He's safe.
Oh, he is safe. I'm sorry. The throw is in plenty of time. Jimmy Swift disgusted with Josh Shepis, and Ed Service wants an explanation as well, as that pitch looked low and outside. And amazing that Gordon, who's had poor control early on, will see the pitch again. Looked like it hit the outside corner, but it definitely looked low. Judkins does get the stolen base.
It's a good call by the second base umpire, Tim Catton, because he slid around the tag. The throw was there, but he missed the tag.
Trevor Adams, and a curveball in there for a strike. Trevor has not really seen a good pitch to hit all weekend. He is 4 for 12 and has a couple of runs batted in. Those both came against Bradley.
So Fairfield in and Sweets, stolen base for Nick Judkins.
2 down. And the 0-1 to Adams. Curveball didn't break, stays inside. 1-1.
We've seen several games here at TD Ameritrade over this year, of course, and I still don't have a very good read on that curveball inside to a right-hand hitter, where it exactly is.
Yeah, we're a little bit to an angle first base side. Did he check his swing on a low outside pitch? They'll appeal. No swing. Todd Olinger is our first base umpire. Tim Catton, our second base umpire. Mark Wagers, our third base umpire. The same 2 crews. One crew did all the games in the upper bracket. This crew here has done all the games in this bracket. Pitch bounced in there, and it's ball 3. They're being very careful, as you might expect, with Adams. We've seen teams already pitching around him this weekend. He has walked 5 times. Runner at second is Judkins. 2 out. And the pitch, swing down the line. It's a bouncing ball in there for a base hit. Here comes Judkins. He'll score. Adams wants second. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. RBI double, Trevor Adams. 1-0 Blue Jays.
56th run driven in for Trevor, his 14th double. And it's an early run for the first time here in the first inning, all tournament long for the Jays.
So a good piece of 2-out hitting by Trevor, who this season has 28. So exactly half of his runs batted in have come with 2 outs. So now he's at second, and here's Scott Thornburg, the pitch. Fastball inside, ball 1. Still, Gordon not with great control. He may have gotten a break on the called third strike to Swift, but he really has not had good control here in this first inning. The 1-0. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. So for Adams, the 14th double this year. That slugging percentage, which was in the 720s for the longest time, at 688 to start the day. It's the first extra base hit he's had in a while. Swung on and fouled back our way to the right. And the count is now 1-2 strikes. In fact, let's just take a look exactly at when Trevor last had an extra base hit. It was the home run against Missouri State last Friday. 1-2 strikes. Gordon looks back at second and the pitch. Fastball just got a piece of it, and catcher Marshall could not hold on. A little angry with himself for not hanging on to that foul tip.
Scott has kind of battled here and struggled in this Valley tournament.
Well, you wonder, David, one of the knocks against Scott was that he gets tired and he usually needs a break behind the plate, and he's been catching an awful lot because of his hot bat. The pitch. Did he check his swing? Breaking ball was on home plate, and no swing. 2-2. You couldn't take him out of the lineup, though. He was hitting the ball so
hard, yeah.
And most of the games that he was playing, he was catching.
I think at this point in this tournament, I mean, everybody's a little bit tired, John.
That is true.
Including the 2 up here.
2-2 strikes. Adams at second with the RBI double here in the first. The pitch. Fastball, he missed wide. Now the count runs full, 3-2. Outfield playing in normal positions, but Conway is cheating in with the wind blowing in over his head. 3-2 strikes and the pitch, and he missed outside, ball 4. Blue Cross, Blue Shield of Nebraska walk because walking works. Second walk of the inning. Judkins has already come around and scored, and here is Clay Cuno.
Well, and I still think, Scott walks there, John. He got down to the count, and we said he's a little bit tired, perhaps. But he's still seeing the plate very well, evident with that at bat. He earlier in the year probably would have offered at that pitch. It was close enough on the outside, but he stays back and he walks.
Cuno, 4 for 9 with 3 doubles in this tournament. First pitch is high, ball 1, and Marshall wants to have a word with his pitcher, and already we're seeing Connor Smith running down. He is one of the backup catchers, and there's going to be activity starting already in the Missouri State pen.
And the mindset kind of switches from last night tournament-wise, where the Jays were at disadvantage. Keith Gutton's going to come out and talk here. And the mindset changes for Missouri State now because it's almost like their back's against the wall here, because there's probably not an at-large bid looming for them. They were in control record-wise in the tournament themselves last night. Jays were kind of battling through it, but now the roles have kind of flip-flopped, where the Jays probably are, at this point, we think, in to the tournament no matter what, where Missouri State has to win this thing.
Keith Gutton coming out to buy his reliever time. It's left-handed activity. I did not get a chance. By the time he shed his warm-up jacket, he was kind of hiding behind one of the beams. You can see through to the bullpen from up here, but you can't see a number from this distance.
The only one I saw run down there was Connor Smith, and of course
Right.
he's the bullpen catcher.
So the meeting is breaking up. Keith Gutton will walk back to the dugout. And Cuno ahead 1-0. Cuno's 4 hits. 2/3 of his season hits have come in this tournament. For the year, he is 6 of 17. First and second, a run is in. 2 down. Bottom of the first, Jays up 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch to Kuno, and he was ripping for it. And he swings through a fastball, and it's 1-1. Kuno is a dead red fastball hitter.
And it's funny because last night we saw a steady dose of breaking pitches to him, but he still was able to fight him off.
1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swung on. There's a curveball towards the gap. This might drop in. It's going to drop in. 1 run is in. Here comes the second man to score. Kuno's going to dig for third. Now he puts on the brakes. It's a 2-run double. Clay Kuno.
I mean, sometimes, John, it's just a different guy. I mean, to get up there with fresh legs, you're talking about guys being tired of this time of the year. Clay's been sitting there on the bench waiting for his opportunity, and he's been a great team player all year long. He's been, keeping the other guys up. And now here in the Valley Tournament, it's Kuno's time to deliver.
His 4th double in this tournament. 2 runs batted in. 3-0 Blue Jays. Clay Kuno has come to play. His first 2 runs batted in this year. And now here's Thibodeau. He takes ball 1. The pitch, fastball high.
John, there's that saying that, there's that light at the end of the tunnel for a senior player, and they start to see it at this time of the year. And given the opportunity, Clay has taken advantage of that opportunity here in this tournament to show what kind of a player he really is.
The 2-0 to Thibodeau. Down, ball 3, and Gordon can't buy a strike right now.
I mean, he's been battling so many injuries over his career. JUCOs to Creighton. That's just great to see for Clay.
3 balls, no strikes, the pitch. He was taking all the way a fastball over the inside corner, and it's 3-1. Gabe Thibodeau, the leading hitter for the Jays in the tournament, 3 for 6. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch, swung on, hit pretty well towards left field. Going back is Matea. He's at the track. He's got room. He'll make the catch. But Thibodeau gave it a ride in the inning. 3 runs on 2 hits and 1 left. We go to the second. 3-0 Creighton. You're listening to Blue Jay Baseball on 1620 The Zone. So the Jays taking advantage of wildness by Grant Gordon. Score all their runs with 2 outs. As Judkins got a 1-out walk after a called third strike on Swift. Adams followed with a run-scoring double. Thornburg walked, and Clay Kuno with a 2-run double. It's 3-0, so Creighton off to a good start. Let's see if Mark Winkleman can keep it that way. Luke Voigt will lead things off. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1.
Unfortunately for Gabe Thibodeau, it's not yesterday where the ball with the sun carried a little bit better because he probably hits a home run.
The pitch, swung on and hit to left, pretty deep. Kuno going back, he's near the track, backs up, he's there, got it. So Voigt gave it a long ride too, just like Thibodeau. But there's Kuno out there in left, and again, remember, when he played last year for the Jays, he played right field. Trevor Adams was the everyday left fielder. So a foreign position to him, his 3rd straight game playing out there, and so far he has acquitted himself very well. In fact, made a great catch last night. Here's Spiker Helms. First pitch swinging, hits one to center. That's going to die in the wind. And Mike Gerber is going to camp under it, and he makes the catch 2 away.
He literally could have camped. He could have popped up a tent there and sat down for a while, started the campfire. That thing took forever to come down. But you're right, about Clay Cuno in left field. He makes the plays. That's what you ask of him to do, and he did make actually a really nice play. Saved perhaps a run. It did play to run on the sacrifice, but it could have been a huge inning if he doesn't make that catch last night.
Over the inside corner, a strike to Travis McCormack. 286 hitter, no homers, 19 driven in. He had a sac fly RBI last night. In fact, it was the ball struck by McCormack that Cuno made the catch on. Diving face first, tried to cut down the runner from third, but obviously getting up off to your feet, it's tough to do. Pitch is swung on, hit towards Cuno, but he's right there. Makes the catch. A very fast second inning for Mark Winkleman and the Jays. Offense back on the field. 3-0 Creighton, and we head to the bottom of the second. The Valley Tournament is on 1620 The Zone. Well, the ineffectiveness of Grant Gordon, he is done. And for the second time this week, the Jays, and the third time in the last week, we will see J.C. Casey.
It's on for the 15th time overall, 4.97 ERA. 20 strikeouts, he's walked 14, 20 runs, 16 of those earned, 29 innings of work. Opponents hitting .289 off of J.C. Casey.
In his appearances against the Jays, the senior from Springfield, Missouri, has thrown a couple of innings, has allowed an earned run on 4 hits. That came earlier in the tournament when it was virtually garbage time.
Well, chance for Mike Gerber to lead off here. Mike has had some productive at-bats here in this tournament. He's also had some situations where he could have really done some damage. But one thing is always consistent about Mike, he plays a great center field.
3 for 13 in the tournament, and he shows bunt on the first pitch and goes through it for a strike. J.C. Casey now is going to have to dial it up here against the Jays. He's already trailing in this one 3-0 as he relieves Grant Gordon. Strike in there, and it's quickly 2 strikes on Mike Gerber. Gerber, .280 hitter for the season, 6 homers, 22 runs driven in. The 0-2 pitch, and he struck him out on a curveball in the dirt. They'll have to throw to first, and they complete the strikeout.
55th strikeout of the year for Mike Gerber.
So Gerber a little over anxious, and it was about a 58-foot curveball. So here's Chance Ross. .228 average, a home run, 22 driven in. Ross, .286, 4 for 14 in the Valley Tournament. First pitch swinging, hits one towards left field. It might drop in, diving, and a nice catch. Derek Matea making a great catch on the run, sliding through the grass, and he gets up, hobbling just a little bit, maybe He has to shake off a little cobwebs. Actually, just needs to tuck his shirt back in.
He's probably saying there's a lot of balls that are being hit my way and hard.
So 2 away for Alex Staley. And on the outside corner, that's a strike. Staley popped up to the catcher on the very first pitch of the game, but the Jays scored 3 in the first, and they've got the early lead. 2 away here in the second. And the pitch popped him up again on the infield. Foul ground. Will it reach the seats? Yes, and it almost hit one of the ball girls who are standing at the end of the Missouri State dugout.
That it almost went in the trash can.
That's true. A couple of trash cans over there. So it is quickly 2 strikes on Alex Staley, hitting in the leadoff spot today. The pitch, and he taps a curveball foul, Omaha Glass foul ball.
John, there's something that jumps out to me as you look back at that line score in that first inning. If you look at who came around to score, 2 of the 3 runs were walks. That's how they reached. Great to see the Jays finally turn the tables against their opponent and do that, because so many times we've seen walks come back to hurt the Jays. This time it hurt Missouri State.
No balls, 2 strikes. Casey, a pause, and the pitch. Brushed him off with a fastball, and it's 1-2. Casey's going to be asked to go a little ways here. His longest outing this season, 5 1/3 innings in relief against St. Louis, all the way back on April the 3rd. The pitch jammed him again inside, and it's 2-2.
Pretty decent crowd beginning to filter in here. A little late arriving, of course. It's a weird start time, a 4 o'clock or 4:05 start time.
And Memorial Day weekend. Swing and a miss at an outside curveball. And a couple of strikeouts for J.C. Casey, who puts a little water on the early Jays fire. We've played 2. It's 3-0 Creighton. You're listening to Blue Jay Baseball on 1620 The Zone. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Derek Matea, Brett Marshall, and Aaron Conway against Mark Winkleman. We were told by Ed Service that they'd like to get 3 out of Mark. Well, Missouri State did him some favors in the second, a very fast 1-2-3 inning. First pitch to Matea in there for a strike. Winkleman has only allowed 2 hits in now 4 1/3 innings of pitching against Missouri State, totaling 3 appearances. Strike 2 over the outside corner. And the key? Very simple, David. He's throwing first pitch strikes.
Absolutely. You jump ahead, good things happen. And Missouri State's a very aggressive hitting team, so if you throw it over the plate, they're going to swing.
There was another strike, but this one is fouled off, and Keith Gutton gobbles up the slow dribbler and tosses it back towards the Jays dugout.
If you're around the plate, Missouri State's going to hack at. There's no question.
No balls, 2 strikes. Winkleman deals, low and outside. 1-2. Matea, 280 batter, a home run, and 23 driven in. Hitting 273 in the Valley Tournament. The pitch. Bouncing ball to short, charging, throwing, and retiring Matea is Jimmy Swift.
Nice play by Jimmy. Good stretch by Nick Judkins on this end as well. It was a little bit down towards the home plate side of the bag for Nick. used his entire frame to haul that one in. But a good play, good charge by Jimmy.
And Mateo rolled over a nice-looking breaking ball by Mark Winkleman. Here's Brett Marshall, the catcher, and he takes the strike. Marshall in this tournament is 1 for 4. He's 235 on the season. The 0-1. Swing and another roller to short. Swift's got it to first, 2 away.
That's the third routine ground ball to Jimmy Swift. 2 out of 3. I'll say the last one, at least Jimmy had to charge that one.
Well, either way, they're not hitting the ball very hard right now. Medrano had the single in front of Kuno in the first. But that was it. So one time through the order, and Mark Winkleman looking mighty fine. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike to Aaron Conway.
Just pump strikes over. I mean, it sounds easy to do. It's easier said than done, but I mean, when you throw first pitch strikes, you have a lot of success.
The 0-1. Popped up, foul, backing out of play to our right, to the upper deck. Omaha Glass foul ball.
Got myself a foul ball yesterday, John.
You did.
I was told I need to bring another one home by somebody else today.
Here's the 0-2. Way outside, 1-2. Well, why don't you ask Mike West's son?
Yes.
I think he has. You know, they had to go back to the Kitty Gone Pavilion to pick up more baseballs. They should have just asked Mike's little son, little boy. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, floated out to right field. Adams coming in. He makes the catch, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Mark Winkleman and the Jays. We've played 2.5. It's Creighton 3, Missouri State nothing. This is the Valley Tournament on 1620 The Zone. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Lansky's, a catered affair. Holiday Inn downtown by Vintage Financial Group, Fernando's, Creighton Medical Associates, Pepsi, by Lawler's Custom Sportswear, Dr. James Bimbo Petro DDS, by Harris Casino and Horseshoe Casino, by Fairfield Inn and Suites downtown, by U.S. Bank, Creighton University willing to lead, Rotella's Bakery, Myers Carlisle Leapley Construction, Creighton Federal Credit Union, by TD Ameritrade, Primetime Sporting Goods, Tiger Tom's Pub, Regency Apartments, Lamar Outdoor Advertising, and by Bellino Enterprises. John Bishop, David Gustafson here at TD Ameritrade Park, semifinals of the Valley Tournament, and Nick Judkins fouls it straight back into the seats. Strike one. Creighton with 3 runs in the bottom of the first. The big blow, a 2-out, 2-run double by Clay Kuno. Winner plays Wichita State tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The 0-1. He hits it down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul into the seats. Matea giving chase, but no play. Judkins started the run-scoring rally with a 1-out walk. He later stole second on a called third strike to Jimmy Swift. Then Adams followed with an RBI double. Thornburg walked, and that's when Kuno delivered the 2-run double. His 4th of the Valley Tournament. The 0-2. He checked his swing. Pitch was in the dirt.
Nick Judkins has 3 strikeouts in this Valley Tournament. He has not struck out very much the entire season. Just 19 overall now for Nick Judkins.
The pitch. Swung on, hit towards center field. Racing over into the gap. Still on the run is Conway. That ball had a tail on it as most lefties do, that ball's going to kind of rotate more towards left field, and maybe more so than even Conway expected. He had to turn on the jets. You also had a wind probably helping it out as well. But Conway's a very good center fielder, and he catches the out for out number 1. Here's Swift. Swift was called out on strikes against Grant Gordon. Umpire Josh Shepis did him a favor. It was a low pitch. A ball and a strike to Swift. J.C. Casey deals. Fastball coming this way. They keep flirting with us, Dave. They're just flirting with us now. Now it's just flat out taunting.
That's mean.
They've had our booth targeted. They just haven't been muscling it up here. The 1-1. Another one. This one a little to our left. We've had one ball that had the altitude to get here, and David chickened out.
Chickened out? I couldn't get outside.
I was going to hold on to your ankles.
I think it did dent it over there the other day. There's a little dent, if you look here, John, about 2.5 feet out where it hit.
I'm sure. 1-2 in the dirt. Swift laid off, and that's key there because Swift has been expanding his zone here as of late.
In fact, that ball hit so hard, there's actually the thread marks.
Whatever.
On the windowsill. That's how hard it was hit.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Breaking ball missed low, ball 3. Trevor Adams waiting on deck. Wind almost blowing straight in right at us over the center field wall on another oddly cool day in the month of May. The 3-2. Fastball, and he struck him out. It was power against power, and Casey wins the battle for his 3rd strikeout since coming in relief in the 2nd inning.
He's retired all 5 Blue Jay hitters that he has seen.
So the Jays will have to tune it up here against Casey. 3 runs is nice, but we got a long way to go against a good hitting team, especially this week. Missouri State has really hit the ball well. Ball 1 low to Adams. His RBI double scored Judkins. Back in the 1st. Both Jays hits coming in that inning. Bears with 1 hit. That was in the 1st off Mark Winkleman. Here's the 1-0 to Trevor, and he fouls this one back. Adams continues to reach base on a consistent basis. 40th straight game last night. Now 41. The longest streak by any Blue Jay in over a decade. The 1-1 to Adams. Fastball tall. 2-1. Still plenty of time if you're in the neighborhood or just getting off work. If you want to come out and enjoy some baseball, just make sure you have a light jacket and you'll be fine.
Yep.
2 balls, yeah, 2 balls and a strike. The pitch. Curveball stayed up. And it's actually, David, an advantage for both teams, especially the hitters, that we are overcast today, because watching the Wichita-Indiana State game that was played in this same window yesterday, the shadows were really, really dominant over home plate. And that's going to be a walk as the fastball misses upstairs. It's the 3rd Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska walk offered to the Jays. The first 2 scored, but there are 2 away, so Thornburg will have to go to work.
Thornburg was one of the walks in the 1st inning that came around to score. That was after he got down 0-2 in the count, so real nice at bat for Scott, his first time up.
So Thornburg stands in with 2 away. Adams, a base-stealing threat for the Jays over at first, and he fakes a go, and a breaking ball over the outside corner, strike 1.
Lights are not on, which is a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, it is, because it's a little bit darker than when we started the game. There's not a threat of rain, but it has darkened up here. Throw to first, and Adams back standing. But talking about those shadows, the windows the World Series will play in are 1 and 6. The start of that 6 o'clock game could be heavily pitching dominant because of the way those shadows encompass home plate. There's a strike. And Scott Thornburg thinks that is no strike. And he's been behind the plate. He should have a pretty good gauge of what Josh Shepis' strike zone is. And Thornburg's going to take a little extra time outside the box to show his displeasure.
Looked like it was well off the plate, perhaps even low.
Down 2 strikes is Thornburg. Casey is set. Takes a long time, and the pitch. He bounced it in there, and it gets away just a little bit. The throw down to second, and they got him. Adams was trying to be aggressive. Ball didn't get away by much. The tag came in on his back as he was sliding in, and he is caught stealing.
Yeah, how he got thrown out, John, is he actually ran in on the grass. If he runs wider, he's probably safe. They missed the sweep tag.
So the 2-out walk is picked off at second base, and we head to the 4th. 3-0 Creighton. You're listening to Blue Jay Baseball in 1620 The Zone. D&D Communications, your source for Motorola two-way radios in Omaha and Lincoln. Call 402-895-6100. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Creighton Blue Jays. No runs on a hit, no errors for the Missouri State Bears. In this, the semifinal game, the winner plays against Wichita State tomorrow night in the State Farm Missouri Valley Tournament Championship game. Here at TD Ameritrade Park, I'm John Bishop, and here to take you through the middle innings is David Gustafson.
Mark Winkleman has pitched very well through 3, and with his performance through 3, he will be allowed to come back out for inning number 4, at least to start anyway. Brock Chaffin followed by Brent Seifert, and then Luke Voigt due up against Winkleman. First pitch is in for a strike. To Kevin Medrano. I misspoke. It's Medrano, Chaffin, and Seifert due up in the inning. Strike 2. Medrano, the lone base runner. That was in the first inning. He singled with 1 away. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt to Kevin Medrano. Medrano's average at .320. No home runs. He has driven in 34, though. Grounded, back past the mound. Tough play. Staley will not have a play. Winkleman got a glove on it, and then it rolled out towards second. It's an infield hit for Kevin Medrano. Staley, or rather Winkleman, probably better off just let that go through and hope that your middle infielders get to it.
Yeah, break for the Bears. Their first one of the game, because that would have been a routine ground out to short. But Winkleman trying to field his position, as all pitchers do. And unfortunately, when he knocked it down, he deadened it enough that Staley had no chance to throw out the speedy Medrano.
So here is Chaffin, a 2 for 2 evening for Medrano. Nick Musick down to the pen to begin to loosen here for the Blue Jays. See if Winkleman can work his way out of this 4th inning. Grounded towards the right side. The only play by Staley is going to be to first to get Chaffin. He'll move the runner up 90 feet. But Alex Staley was shaded right up the middle, and he had to range over deep into the hole to make the play, so the runner is allowed to advance.
But again, another ground ball. And so far, with the exception of Luke Voigt's deep fly ball to left field, I mean, a lot of these plays have been very routine. And quite frankly, that infield hit would have been a 6-3 ground out.
So here's Brent Seifert. Bears will try to take advantage of that situation where they get the runner on here to start off this 4th inning. More activity down there for the pen. I didn't see who ran down there. Misses away to the very dangerous Brent Seifert, who's had a great Valley tournament.
This is the first 2-0 count that a Bear has enjoyed against Mark Winkelman.
Kevin Medrano in scoring position here in the top half of the 4th inning. The 2-0 misses inside. It's 3-0.
Pitches are going to start to rack up here on Winkelman now at 33. Again, he was expected to go 3. He's gone 3 1/3, so he's already extended a little further than Ed Service was hoping for.
Winkelman will step off.
Probably have Chase Webb down there.
Music and Webb, I believe, are the 2.
Yeah.
3-0 pitch. Called strike to Brent Seifert. Seifert, 43 runs driven in. 9 home runs, 294 on the batting average. He's 0 for 1 against Winkelman so far. And the 3-1 pitch. Called strike 2 as Seifert was 6 steps down towards first. He'll have to come back.
Boy, that was pretty presumptuous. Usually you see him chuck the bat first, but Seifert, as you said, took 6 steps down the line and was starting to chuck the bat when he was called back to the plate. Keith Gutton not happy with the call.
So the count runs full here to Seifert. And the pitch. Foul tipped. Could not hold on to it. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Good pitch.
That would have been big if he would have gotten that strikeout. Now I'll have to make another 3-2 pitch.
Medrano takes his lead as Seifert climbs back into the box. 1 away in the inning. And again, the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, and it'll curl angle out of play right side. Omaha glass foul ball. Mark Winkelman trying to sit down perhaps the hottest hitter here for Missouri State in Brent Seifert.
Which is saying something, consider how many guys have been hitting the ball this weekend.
3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A big shoreline golf course strikeout for Mark Winkelman.
He threw him something off speed. Hopefully we'll get a chance to look at it on the replay. We'll see what he got. Yeah, he threw him a changeup. And Seifert was looking fastball, and he swung right through it. Great pitch by Mark Winkelman, his first strikeout.
So now 2 down, a chance to get out of the inning if he makes a good pitch here to Luke Voigt. And he'll step off for a moment, regather himself on the hill.
Lights are now on, so they must have heard you.
I'm sure, yeah. Voigt fouls it back to the screen. A lot of people listen to me, and then what I say, maybe a suggestion that I have is, oh, okay, that sounds good. Happens almost regularly, Jeff.
Sure, yeah, I get it. I understand.
Or virtually never. 0-1 is the count to Voigt. High, ball 1.
Well, I think at this point, if you're Ed Service and Rob Smith, you're saying, come on, Mark, get us one more out, and I got to believe they'll go to the pen after that.
The 1-1 pitch. Line, base hit. He can't do it. He'll bring home the run. Medrano will score easily. Kuno's up with it, fires it into first, and it's a 3-1 ball game.
Well, Voigt has been the only player Missouri State has had that has really hit the ball hard. He flew out deep to left field. That's his 35th run batted in this year. And that pitch was hit solidly into left field on a line.
So unfortunately for Mark Winkelman, he deflected that ball, and that ends up being the run here to come around to score.
That's true. But Missouri State, give them credit, they took advantage of a break.
Spiker Helms takes strike 1 on the outside corner.
You can still finish off a very solid performance if you can stop it right here.
Absolutely.
You'd have told Ed Service you'd be up 3-1 after 4. With only one pitcher, he would have taken that.
Strike 2 to Spiker Helms. Elimination game winner goes to the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament Championship game tomorrow night. They will take on the Wichita State Shockers. The 0-2. Called strike 3. A Shoreline Golf Course strikeout. So Winkleman gets through 4 and give Mark a round of applause. We go to the bottom half. It's Creighton 3, Missouri State 1. Here on 1620 The Zone. Scott Thornburg, Clay Kuno, and Gabe Thibodeau due up in the home half of the 4th inning. It's Creighton 3, Missouri State 1. The likelihood that Mark Winkleman's night is done is very high, and if it is, kudos to Mark.
It would be a run on 3 hits, 2 strikeouts. A solid job, and really he was one batter from a scoreless 3 frames.
Thornburg to lead off, a walk and a run scored back in the 1st inning. He was at the plate when Trevor Adams was caught stealing. In the 3rd, ground ball towards 2nd. Medrano has it, and 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th inning.
What the Jays need to do is get some more offense. 3 runs is probably not enough to win this game.
Only 1 man to reach against J.C. Casey, and that was Trevor Adams, who he walked. So here's Clay Kuno, and the pitch from Casey. Fouled at the plate. Big 2-run double for Clay back in the 1st inning with 2 down. He was left stranded out at second base. The 0-1, outside 1-1. Still a very long way to go, John, and see how the Jays piece it together bullpen-wise. I'd like to see some more runs. The 1-1 misses away. It's 2-1 here to Clay Kuno.
Well, as far as who you have available to you, I don't know if you're going to have a Van Leeuwer. He threw a few innings last night, but obviously there's Music and Webb, who are probably the next 2 guys out of the pen.
The 2-1 pitch. Popped up, foul, back and out of play. Omaha glass foul ball. You got to catch it on the fly. People let it hit the stairs, and then you have no chance.
Reese McGraw may be available. For some reason, I don't have last night's box score.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Clay Kuno. Casey ready. Here's the pitch. Bounces in the dirt. It's 3-2. Will Kuno get anything to hit here on the full count pitch? Casey is not allowed a base hit since coming in relief of Gordon in the 2nd inning. The 3-2 pitch. Skied out towards shallow left field. Coming in on it is Matea, and going back, and Matea not going to get there, and Kuno's going to take second. It'll be another double for Clay Kuno from the hustle of Clay Kuno as it fell into no man's land. And Kuno's got a 2-double night.
Oh, my goodness. When you are hitting well, you are hitting well. That's an easy fly ball out, and the problem was Matea came charging in. He thought he had the play, but the wind knocks it down, and McCormack makes the mistake. He peels off. Conway had called them off, or at least, judging by body language, McCormack acted as if Conway called him off, and that miscommunication has led to the 5th double of the tournament for Clay Kuno.
Here's Gabe Thibodeau. Check swing. They say went around. Ball gets away. Kuno now will take third. So now a fly ball by Thibodeau perhaps plates a run. Check swing. Thibodeau did go around as the ball got away, so it's 0-1. Another wild pitch. Kuno takes third base. The 0-1 pitch to Thibodeau. Swing and a miss. Swung right through it. It's 0-2. So the junior out of Lake Charles, Louisiana is going to have to battle now with a count, no balls and 2 strikes. J.C. Casey sets and the pitch. Bounces in the dirt. It's blocked, though, by Marshall.
Be nice to get that run right back and take advantage of another Missouri State mistake. They made 4 yesterday on errors and a couple of others with pass ball or wild pitch third strikes.
And the pitch just did foul it off down the left field line.
I can't get over Clay Kuno. This is incredible.
The 5th double of the Valley Tournament for Clay Kuno.
That's what we call a Chris O'Brien double. Remember the 2 he had against
he did have a couple
Adams,
of them, yeah.
who misplayed a couple of fly balls.
Yeah. A ball and 2 strikes to Gabe Thibodeau. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at the plate. That was good pitcher's pitch there, and Thibodeau wasted it.
He sure did.
Clay Kuno's the runner down at third. Jay's trying to push that 4th run across here in the 4th inning. The 1-2 pitch struck him out swinging. Curveball away from him. Now that leaves it up to Mike Gerber.
Great pitch.
0 for 1 tonight.
Great pitch by J.C. Casey, who comes back after his defense lets him down. That was a great curveball. Solid break.
So here's Gerber, who struck out swinging his first time up against J.C. Casey. And he'll take a 2-out base hit or a wild pitch or an error. Strike 1. Oh, 0-1 the count to Gerber. 278 now on the season, takes high for ball 1. Mike with great power. 6 home runs, 22 driven in. It's been a while since he's hit a home run.
Probably not a good day for him to hit a home run the way the wind's blowing. He does have that kind of power, but he's going to have to hit it on a line.
1-1 sails way outside. It's 2-1. Kuno with a 1-out double, then a wild pitch got him to third, but Gabe Thibodeau could not drive him in with 1 away, so it's up to Mike Gerber. 2 balls and a strike on Gerber. The pitch from Casey. 3-1. It's way high. Three and one. Gerber way ahead. Does he get a fastball that he can handle here against J.C. Casey? Casey a long look in at Brett Marshall, the catcher. Now comes set. Here's the pitch. Got a fastball. May have been a little bit high and outside. He swung through it. It's 3-2.
That's the key. It was high. Gerber is a low ball hitter.
So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Gerber. Clay Kuno 90 feet away. Here's the pitch from J.C. Casey. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and that'll end the inning. Jay Strand a runner at third. And we go to the 5th. It is Creighton 3 and Missouri State 1 here on 1620 The Zone. Mark Winkelman's night is over as the Blue Jays will go to the bullpen for the first time, and it'll be Nick Musick.
Nick Musick, who did throw an inning against Missouri State when the game was already decided in that 10-3 MSU victory, threw an inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs. But on the season, Musick, just his 7th appearance, all have been out of the pen, 11 and a third innings, 14 hits, 7 earned runs, the ERA at 5.56. He has struck out 6 and walked 2. Now with Musick, most of the time he has thrown this year, it has been when the game had been in almost decided. I mean, he's usually come in kind of garbage time, if you will. Sorry, I hit your mic there. But
well, the only game he wasn't, I could say, was the Kansas State game. I remember he actually came in and actually played a key role in that victory.
That's true.
Travis McCormack is the hitter and looks at a ball 1 inside.
But my general point is this is the biggest spot he has been asked to deliver in this season.
And Musick got an ERA of 5.56.
Sophomore out of St. Charles, Missouri.
Curveball in there. 1-1.
So a chance to...
Well, there's been a lot of heroes in this tournament so far for the Jays.
That's right.
Why not another one? And unsuspecting heroes, 2-1.
But again, first pitch strikes are so very important. That was Mark Winkelman's key. He was ahead of nearly every batter.
2-1 to McCormack. Line, Kuno coming in, diving, and cannot get it. Clay Kuno made a valiant effort at it. Might have actually been in the glove for a moment, and then the slide popped it out of the glove. It's a base hit.
It was, David. The ball was in the glove for a moment, but unfortunately it was sinking fast, sinking hard, and when Kuno landed, that's when the ball came out. But another valiant effort by Clay Kuno, who has been spot on out there in left field in just his 3rd game in left field. So now pressure on Musick.
Popped up. Shallow left field. Jimmy Swift ranging out. Jimmy Swift giving way to Clay Kuno, who makes the grab as Swift dives down in front of him. There's 1 away.
And that was close because when he called off Swift at the last minute, Swift went to the deck, and Kuno, of course, is looking up. And if he's about a foot or a foot and a half more to his left, he trips over Jimmy Swift. But most cases, that's Jimmy Swift's play, but that's a senior calling off a senior. Even though he hasn't played left field, Clay Kuno has played baseball before, and he's been in college baseball for 6 years.
Check swing and fouled off of Scott Thornburg. Got a real solid piece of Thornburg on the inner thigh. So the hitter is Brett Marshall.
So you see the trust that Clay Kuno has with his teammates. Jimmy Swift normally would have taken that, but Kuno said, nope, I got it. He got out of the way, and Kuno made the play.
Well, if you're Jimmy, you go back until you get called off.
That's right.
I mean, it's the outfielder's play then. And actually probably was an easier play for Clay. Jimmy was angling away from it a little bit. 0-1 the count, and Marshall calls time and steps out of the batter's box.
It's always good to get that first out. This would be a big second out because you now, after this, you deal with the top of the order.
In there for a breaking pitch for a strike to Brett Marshall. And it's 0-2.
Musick may only be asked to throw the 5th. Then you've got Webb ready in the bullpen when necessary.
No balls and 2 strikes. Outside, wasted away. It's 1-2. Couple of ground ball double plays this year for Brett Marshall. Take one here. The 3rd would be just fine. Jays didn't turn one last night.
Well, let's change that right now.
Bounces in the dirt. It's 2-2. And on Saturday against Missouri State, he turned 3 huge double plays in the regular season clinching game.
That's right. It destroyed golden scoring opportunities for Missouri State on Saturday.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Brett Marshall, the pitch. Fouled at a play, wasted away to the right side. Chase Webb warming up in the pen.
Yep. He's been ready. In fact, he had stopped throwing. He's standing on the mound right now. Again, judging by kind of the body language, it's almost as if Music's been asked to get this inning out of the way.
Popped and foul, back out of play. Omaha Glass foul ball.
And then Webb, you might, and this is all assumption right now, but theoretically you could go Webb for 6 and 7. And then you still got Reese McGraw.
You may still have Spomer.
And you may still have Kurt Spomer.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Now it goes full. So he got all the way ahead at 0-2. Tried to hit the corner a couple of times, and now he's gone full.
This may be the biggest pitch of this inning right here.
Here it is. Lined foul. Down the left field line.
Wasn't cheated on that swing.
Brett Marshall, a .232 hitter, 9 runs driven in. You'd like to retire him. Otherwise, you're dealing with the top of the order here with only one away, and Kevin Medrano and Aaron Conway. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. Found it a play.
Did him a favor. That fastball was up in his eyes. He swung at ball 4. In fact, I think the last 2 foul-offs have been high and inside.
So we'll do it again here on 3-2. McCormack, a leadoff single, is on at first. And with only one away, the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Brett Marshall. Music ready. The pitch. Runner goes. Ball 4. So Music working his way into some trouble. And Jack Van Leeuwen begins to ready in a hurry. Have Webb ready, I think. Here comes Rob Smith to talk.
You hate to lose Brett Marshall. You had him in the count, 1 and 2, and
had him 0-2.
Had him 0-2, right? And he ends up drawing the walk. And those are tough walks to give up. You throw a lot of pitches, obviously. Not that pitch count's a big deal for Music, but those are big at bats for a team trying to climb back into a game, and puts a tying run on base in front of the top of the order. And you get the sense the way Missouri State has been swinging the bats this week, they're smelling blood. And there was nothing more evident than Wednesday night when they sensed that Ty Block didn't have his best stuff. And once he started elevating those pitches, they drove those pitches and drove him from the game.
So a walk to Brett Marshall puts 2 on. Top of the order, Aaron Conway is the hitter. And the pitch. Curveball misses away.
Conway was showing bunt, but I think that was for show.
Blue Jay dugout showing some trust here in the young Nick Music. Allowing him to try to work his way out of it. 2-0. Got to throw strikes. That is the one thing that Mark Winkelman did tonight. He pumped it over the strike zone and was very successful. A single, a pop out, and then a walk. Now 2-0 the count. 2-1.
And Conway very unhappy with the call. Well, they say that if an umpire's hearing it from both dugouts, he's either really bad or he's right on. If both teams are arguing over it, then at least no one's getting an advantage.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Bunted, and the play will be Ross. He's up with it, fires just in time to get Conway. It moves everybody up 90 feet, but now it's 2 away, and if you're Nick Music, you can make a pitch and get yourself out of the inning.
Well, it's interesting strategy employed.
And that's it for Music.
By Keith Gutton, but that's not terribly unusual considering that Conway has great speed, and he's not, I mean, sure, his ultimate goal is to make sure that the runners do move up, but what he's really trying to do is reach first, putting pressure on the defense.
It's a good play by Chance Ross. That means Jack Van Leeuwen is going to be asked to deal with Kevin Medrano. We'll take a pitching change break. We'll tell you about Jack's numbers when we come back. 3-1 Jays. We are in the 5th inning. They lead the Bears here on 1620 The Zone. Missouri State trying to tie this semifinal game up right here. They'll face Jack Van Leeuwen.
Van Leeuwen, the senior from Brandon, South Dakota, making his 31st appearance. 3.32 ERA, 4-0 record, 2 saves, 40 and 2/3 innings, 40 hits, 15 earned runs, 22 strikeouts, 17 walks. Van Leeuwen in this tournament, this is his 3rd appearance. He gave up 2 runs, both of them on Wednesday night. He was scoreless last night in, I believe it was 2 innings complete. And here he is being asked to retire the lefty, Kevin Medrano, tying runs in scoring position, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Medrano steps in, a couple of hits for Medrano. Hit him on the leg, on the kneecap, on the right knee. And Medrano is limping towards first, but first pitch and Jack loads him up. So Bears with a chance for a big inning here, but there is 2 down. It'll be another left-handed hitter in Brock Chaffin. The only problem is here, there's nowhere to put him.
So Van Leeuwen wild on the first pitch. He tried to come inside and he missed badly.
Brock Chaffin, he's their power. 6 home runs, 37 driven in. 3.48 on the batting average for Brock Chaffin. Bases loaded with Bears. Grounded, rolled towards second. Staley's down on it. Steps, fires to first, and they're out of the jam. They'll strand the bases loaded. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. It's Creighton 3, Missouri State 1 on 1620 The Zone. We head to the 5th inning here at TD Ameritrade Park. Semifinal matchup between Creighton and Missouri State. And right now the Blue Jays hold a 3-1 lead. Nice job by Jack Van Leeuwen to come in, get out of a bases loaded jam. Actually came in and hit Medrano on the first pitch in the kneecap, and then Brock Chaffin rolled over a pitch and grounded out to second to end the frame. So Stays 3-1 as we go to the home half of the fifth inning. Chance Ross and then Alex Staley, Nick Judkins. 9-1-2 due up, but it's been pretty quiet for the offense since the first inning when they plated 3 runs against Grant Gordon. J.C. Casey's been very good out of the pen for Missouri State. And Chance Ross takes a strike on the inside corner. 5 strikeouts for J.C. Casey since he's come in here. Grounded left side, good play deep in the hole by McCormack. The ball bounces and he's safe at first. That is a great hustle job by Chance Ross, an infield base hit. He beats out the throw. It was a long throw deep in the hole by McCormack. And Chance Ross, with his great speed, able to beat it out. The 4th hit of the night here for the Blue Jays. And Alex Staley may be asked to bunt. Staley 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop-up. And Alex Staley does have 12 sacrifices on the season. J.C. Casey ready. Squared around already as Staley pulls it back, and it's ball 1 inside. So an infield single for Chance Ross, deep in the hole there at short, able to hustle down the line, beat the play. And will Staley be asked to bunt? They had him leaning for a moment, just did get back in on a throw to first.
Really getting kind of tired of seeing Jays getting picked off base. Casey has picked off 2 this year.
Staley was squared around to potentially put the bunt down his first offering. Now they do have him picked off. It's the same play. I'm not sure what Chance Ross is doing.
I don't know.
And Ed Service just kind of puts his arms and folds them because, I mean, it's the exact same move.
It is happening so often. Man.
You run yourselves out of innings. Jay's trying to add some insurance here in the 5th. You have the leadoff man on, and then you can work your offense. Instead, it's nobody on and 1 away, and a 1-1 count to Alex Staley.
And I can't stress enough, 3 runs are probably not going to win this game, especially with the fatigue. You know, pitchers are going to get thick balls up, and got to take advantage when you got a leadoff man on. But
Staley, pop up, shallow left field. Matea coming in, and he's got it. 2 down. So instead of putting the sacrifice down and runner at second with only 1 away for Nick Judkins, you have 2 down, nobody on.
Well, credit J.C. Casey. Really, he hasn't allowed a solid hit. He's allowed 2 hits, but the Kuno hit was a pop-up that was miscommunicated by the defense. And then, of course, Ross with the infield hit.
Here's Nick Judkins, and he takes low and away.
And you can always forgive a 2-out walk to Trevor Adams because no one's going to give him anything honest to hit.
But Adams was caught stealing too.
The 5 strikeouts. Casey has done exactly what Missouri State needed.
Strike 1 to Judkins. You have Adams who reached but was caught stealing. And now you have Ross reached, but he was picked off. So 2 base running errors by the Blue Jays here. So far tonight, they still lead 3-1. All runs came in the first inning. 2 down, the 1-1 pitch to Judkins. And now 1-2. Big looping curveball. He swings through it.
It's interesting to kind of hear the different opinions on the Jays' postseason prospects. Talking with Tom Chattel of the World Herald out in the hallway, and he was kind of gauging what I thought about Creighton's chances. I thought they're in, but
foul ball on a play.
Tom's like, yeah, but what if a Missouri wins the Big 12? You know, some team that doesn't have a chance. And of course, you always have to worry about those underdogs winning conference tournaments. That's always a concern.
Very true, but the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of teams behind the Jays that are in that position. They're the ones that are really worried.
That's right. there's a lot more that are going to be picked off the bottom before it hits Creighton in an at-large situation.
Pitch to Judkins, flared towards left, not hit very well. That might fall in there. Fair ball down the line, just inside of the chalk, and actually going to be called a ground rule double. It bounced up and hit off of one of the seats, I believe, and came back down in. So it is a ground rule double for Nick Judkins.
That hit the chalk. We'll watch it on the replay to double check, but I'm sure it hit the chalk. Again, it had that left-handed bat action. You can see the chalk rise, and it did because those seats, as they go up, as soon as the ball crosses over into, I'm going to say a name that's very painful, into that Bartman territory, it goes into, even though it doesn't go into the seats, once it kind of crosses that threshold, it's considered in the seats and a ground rule double.
So here's Jimmy Swift, a couple of strikeouts. Chance for him to produce a run here in the 5th inning.
And how much does that pickoff hurt now? You'd have second and third, one out, presumably. Or actually, if Staley gets the bunt down, he may score a run. I mean,
hindsight's always 20/20.
No, absolutely.
The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
But here's one thing I do know: getting picked off first is a bad thing.
That is true. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
It's bad.
Nick Judkins, the runner out at second here with 2 down and a chance for a true 2-out rally for the Jays. Jimmy Swift struck out looking to the first. He struck out swinging against J.C. Casey in the 3rd inning. A base hit here perhaps plates that 4th run. The 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, it's 2-1.
Now remember, because the wind is blowing in on a ball hit to center, Conway is cheating in, as center fielders have been doing when the ball isn't carrying here, and it's not today. So a sharp single to center is no guarantee of a run.
The 2-1 to Swift. Grounded towards third. And fielding it is Seifert. The throw is in time to retire Jimmy Swift, and that ends the inning. So we'll go to the 6th. It is Creighton 3 and Missouri State 1 on 1620 The Zone.
Take the sport out of finding information with Dex. Find what you need when you need it. In print, online at DexKnows.com, and on mobile. Dex Knows.
It'll be Jack Van Leeuwen back on the hill here for the Creighton Blue Jays. Good performance by Mark Winkleman, got him started. He ends up giving up a run through 4 innings of work. But Nick Musick came in relief of him in that 5th inning, got bounced around a little bit, but Van Leeuwen able to shut the door with the bases loaded. Right, Seifert to lead off. Skied out towards Clay Kuno. He's under it, makes the grab. Always important to get the first out of the inning. 1 away.
So 3 pitches, and we have a hit batsman and 2 outs.
Efficiency for Jack is what he was asked to do.
Well, remember when he came in and got that, he allowed the first 2 men to reach, I think it was the 6th or the 7th inning on Saturday.
Strike 1 delivered.
First 2 men reached, and then instantly it was a double play, and then the next guy they retired. I mean, it was the quickest inning that could have blown up that was extinguished.
Yeah.
So
strike 2 to Luke Voigt.
Something about Jack Van Leur. He plays to contact.
Did not miss by much. That was real close from being a 3-pitch strikeout of Luke Voigt. Jays fans wanted that.
Josh Shep is hearing it from both sides.
Grounded and through. Kind of misplayed a little bit by Chance Rossi. Wafted at a little bit. So unfortunate that they don't get the call. And it puts the runner on with 1 away for Spiker Helms.
A sharply hit ground ball, and Ross did not break on it quick enough.
It was interesting because he kind of took a second backward step instead of more diagonal towards the ball, and then it got past him.
Now again, you wonder about the possibility of a bunt here, even though there's 1 out.
Yeah,
Keith Gutton's bunted a number of times with 1 out.
And Spiker Helms trying to put it down, but it's foul.
It's curious strategy, but there's a couple of things. One, most of the guys that are being asked to do it are fast. So you're ultimately hoping they can beat out the throw if they put down a really good bunt. Secondly, even if they get the sacrifice down, you do have a runner in scoring position. There's 2 out, and Missouri State has hit the ball well all weekend. So Keith Gutton is trying to.
Misses outside. 1-1 here to Spiker Helms.
Trying to give his batters as many run scoring opportunities as possible. And he's willing to roll the dice and do so with 2 outs.
Might not be able to do it here with a ball and a strike to count. See if it catches the Jays by surprise or not. The 1-1. Takes inside for ball 2.
He was starting to take the bat off the shoulder.
So Jack Van Leur behind to his first hitter. 2 balls and a strike. Voigt able to reach on a 1-2 single. Out to left field. Now 2 balls and a strike to step to first. We're in the 6th inning. It's 3-1 Jays, but their offense has been fairly quiet since the first inning. And the Bears have been putting the pressure on here in the last 3 frames, including here now in the 6th inning. And it's 3-1. Reese McGraw loosening in the pen for the Blue Jays.
Everyone working with a little fatigue, obviously the stress. It's the team that can fight through it that's going to play tomorrow night.
3-1. Ball 4, he walked him. So the tying runs are on. After it looked like Jack perhaps had retired the second man of the inning on a strikeout, you have a single following that. And now a 5-pitch walk to Spiker Helms.
Here comes Rob Smith. And again, you don't necessarily take the bunt out of the equation here. You have a lefty up. And they've already done this. They did it last inning. Had first and second with 1 out. And Conway laid down the sacrifice.
Now Keith Gutton's going to come all the way down to the dugout with his hitter in Travis McCormack.
Well, he's talking, and he's got his coaching staff over there too, and they're talking it over as well. Wheels are spinning right now. Missouri State has put pressure on Creighton the last 3 innings now.
And a lot of pressure.
Yeah, multiple runners on in each of those innings. So far, fortunately, only 1 run is scored. Van Leur's got some work to do here.
Travis McCormack is the hitter. Van Leur, instead of the pitch home, wheels back towards second. Luke Voigt on at second, and Spiker Helms runner first.
McCormack has 3 sacrifices this year.
Chance Ross in at the fringe at third. And the problem is Jack is behind 1-0. He was very sharp to begin. Then he got wide against Spiker Helms, now trying to find that zone again. Ball and no strikes, and now time is called. McCormack, the hitter. The count is 1-0. Here's the pitch. 2-0. And this presumably is the last hitter if Jack Van Leeuwen cannot get him. Runners take their lead at first and second. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch to McCormack. Called strike on the inside corner. It's 2-1. How about a ground ball double play? Jays have not turned one here against Missouri State in the tourney. Lined hard down the right field line, but angling foul on a play. It's 2-2. Jumped on the fastball, but he was well out in front of it. Jays trying to hold on to this lead. On top 3-1, but the Bears threatening once again. Van Leeuwen ready. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up right side of the infield. And in the outfield grass, it's Judkins to make the grab. It was not the infield fly rule because it was deep enough to get into the grass area. There is 2 away, though, and a nice job by Van Leeuwen to battle back, and that's the end of the night for him as they'll go to the pen with the right-handed hitter and coming up to the plate, Matea.
You have 3 straight righties coming up. So Ed Service playing the percentages here, and it'll be up to Reese McGraw to put out this fire here in the 6th inning.
Let's take a look at the numbers on Reese McGraw.
This year, 32 appearances. That's 1 behind Winkle, or actually 2 behind Winkleman. A 6-1 record. He was the winning pitcher of record last night after throwing an inning and 2/3 of shutout baseball, striking out 1. His ERA is an even 3. He has 5 saves, 36 innings, 28 hits. He's allowed 12 runs, 29 strikeouts, 15 walks. Team's hitting .224 against McGraw. In this tournament, McGraw is making his 3rd appearance. He, just like Van Leeuwen on Wednesday, was roughed up in the first game against Missouri State, but acquitted himself last night. So the numbers are going to be a little inflated based on that 1 appearance. Now, what you also look at, and we'll dial up this number, and that is the number of pitches he has thrown so far. And it's been 16 in each of the 2 appearances. He threw 16 last night in the win, 16 in just a 1/3 of an inning when he gave up a couple of hits and 3 runs. So he comes on here, tying runs first and second with 2 out. Matea is scheduled to be the batter, but they do have the lefty, Trey Massenberg, the freshman, also out in the on-deck circle. And the stat we've been talking about, it seems like every time Reese comes in, is what he has done lefties and righties. Well, McGraw has now lowered the average against left-handed batters to .267. Against righties, opponents are only hitting .200.
He'll face at least the schedule hitter is Derek Matea. Now, if that happens or not, we'll see. They potentially do have a pinch hitter up there in Trey Massenberg. And Massenberg does look like he'll be the hitter. We saw this matchup last night, though.
I'm sorry, Brent Marshall was already, he's the catcher. He's due up after Massenberg, so.
Massenberg, the hitter. And last night, Massenberg came in and flew out to center field. An RBI opportunity here, though, for Trey Massenberg, but Reese McGraw has been asked to shut the door here in the 6th inning.
Massenberg 7 for 32 this year with 3 RBI, hitting .219.
Runners take their lead at first and second. Voigt's the runner at second, and on at first base is Spiker Helms, who walked. So 1-out single by Luke Voigt, and then Helms walked. So now Massenberg, the hitter. Strike on the outside corner.
It's all about throwing those first pitch strikes.
Tying runs are on here for the Bears. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. 3-1 Creighton. And the pitch. Called strike 2. A deliberate call, but it's a strike call nonetheless from Josh Shepis.
And Keith Gutton disgustedly turns his back to home plate, and now he's talking with Mark Wagers, the third base umpire.
No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-2. Very rarely do you see a 3-pitch strikeout from a Jays pitcher. In fact, so much almost the crowd was dead on that 0-2 pitch. Now the energy level up here for the 1-2. And the pitch. Outside, 2-2.
He's trying to get the freshman to expand his strike zone, but now what you've done is you've made it 2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Lined out towards left field, hanging up. Kuno coming in, cannot make the play. Kuno can't make it. Now they're going to round the runner around home. Here comes the relay to the plate, and it is not in time. Ball gets away, and 2 runs come in to score, and it's a 3-3 ball game. Kuno could not come up with it. Trey Massenberg comes through, and it's a tie game.
Sinking line drive. Kuno gave it a great effort, and he almost came up with his second big-time catch of the game. Remember the sinking liner by Medrano in the 4th.
I thought
he almost had that one, and that would have kept him off base. He eventually came around to score. And unfortunately, when he came crashing down, the ball kind of got deflected behind him. And Keith Gutton being very aggressive, sending home Spiker Helms.
I think he actually tried to hold up Spiker Helms, but Helms just went around. The ball kind of hopped into Thornburg. If it's on a line, there may be a shot at home. So the lead is given up. Now you just don't want to be trailing on the scoreboard when you go to the bottom half of the 6th inning.
RBIs 4 and 5 for Trey Massenberg.
And the strike zone has disappeared. It's 2-0.
Wow. Well, we talked about Jay as unsung heroes. There's one for Missouri State.
Right. 3-0.
And if you walk Marshall, guess what? Here comes Conway.
Yeah. Now time to refocus here for Reese McGraw.
Yeah, that's the problem. McGraw was making the right pitch.
3-0, and the pitch. Finally a strike called, and it's 3-1.
And once again, a pinch hitter for Missouri State does damage against the Jays. That's the one thing they actually did do well last weekend.
3-1, ball 4. Have the Jays retired a pinch hitter from Missouri
State? Yeah, they
State?
did.
Maybe Massenberg last night. That might be the only one. So Missouri State trying to take the lead here against Reese McGraw in this 6th inning. They've plated 2. And it's up to McGraw. There is no help right now in the pen. And there's a conversation on the mound with Scott Thornburg and Reese McGraw, but there's nobody up throwing. It's all up to Reese at this point. And Aaron Conway is the hitter. Chance to get out of the inning, but the Jays could not do it. And now Missouri State smelling that blood you were talking about, John.
Yeah.
Strike 1 delivered here to Aaron Conway.
You can't give these guys too many opportunities, because eventually they will cash in, and they just did.
The 0-1. Called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Reese needs to bear down here, finish off the inning. We knew 3 runs. We had a feeling 3 runs were not going to win this game, so we are now confirmed in that thought.
The 0-2 just did get a piece of it, and it's 1-2. 3 runs on 6 hits so far for Missouri State. Jays with 3 runs on 5 hits. And the other thing is the Jays offense has been fairly quiet against J.C. Casey. 1-2, called strike 3. And that will end the inning, but Missouri State gets 2 runs to tie it up. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. It's Creighton 3, Missouri State 3 on 16:20 The Zone. J.C. Casey has worked very well out of the pen for Missouri State. So we go to the 6th inning. Trevor Adams, Scott Thornburg, and Clay Kuno due up.
Remember what we said about Casey when he first came in? His longest appearance is 5 1/3 innings against St. Louis back on April the 3rd. Well, he starts his 5th inning of work. He has put up goose eggs. He's only allowed 3 hits and a walk. He's also picked off a runner. He's pitched around a couple of doubles. And he's done exactly what Keith Gutton and Paul Casey have asked him to do, and that's get outs. And now Missouri State has climbed back into it. They've tied the game. And the Jays offense, which we said 3 runs wasn't going to be enough, they have to get to work.
Look back in that 4th inning when the Jays had 2 opportunities to drive in a run. Clay Kuno was at 3rd with 1 out. And he stayed there.
2 strikeouts. 5 strikeouts for Casey in his 4 innings of relief so far.
Here's Trevor Adams. Swing and a miss at a pitch. Low and away. And he's down to the count 0-1. Trevor, a double and RBI the 1st inning. And also he walked in the 3rd. He was caught stealing in the 3rd inning. Now the 0-1. That bounces in there about 57 feet. 398 on the average now for Trevor Adams. We're in the 6th. It's a 3-3 ball game. And J.C. Casey is ready. Here's the pitch. Grounded weakly towards the 3rd baseman. Now booted around for a while. Long throw, but in time. And out at first is Adams. Seifert did his best effort to boot that one, but he couldn't kick it far enough away from himself.
We've seen a lot of those, haven't we, with this team? A lot of grounders that get booted, but they always seem to keep it in front of him. It's throwing errors that have been their problem, not so much fielding errors.
Thornburg was walked in the 1st and scored. And fouls that above the dugout. Ricochets off the top of the dugout.
The one thing that Casey has done now in 4 of his 5 innings is he's retired the first batter.
Pop up on the infield, right side to Medrano. He's underneath it. And he puts the squeeze on it.
And unfortunately, the one man who did reach in to lead off an inning, Chance Ross, got picked off.
Well, here's been one of the sparks, the lone spark really, for this Jays offense tonight. Clay Kuno, a 2-run double in the 1st inning. A bloop double in the 4th. So he's 2 for 2. And the pitch from J.C. Casey. Outside and away to Clay Kuno.
Can he do it again?
It's been a doubles machine here in this Valley's tournament.
5 doubles.
1-0 is the count to Kuno. Here's the pitch. 2-0.
And 2 balls in the outfield that he made great plays on. And if the ball just sticks in that mitt, it's a 3-0 game.
Yep. 2-0 is the count. Here's the pitch to Kuno. Called strike on the outside corner. It's 2-1.
Got a fastball there.
Clay had the big hit, but that seems like yesterday already. That was in the first inning with 2 down, that 2-run double.
It does seem like a long time ago.
The 2-1. Line towards the right field corner, angling, and foul. Just out of play. He was flirting with number 6 double of the tournament.
Well, now he's got to be careful here because Casey's been able to dial up 5 strikeouts so far. And we saw last night there was a spot for Clay in his last at bat where he got a little over anxious, which is one thing you always worry about with a guy who's fresh off the bench, kind of feeling excited about being in the lineup.
2 balls and 2 strikes here to Kuno with 2 down. Casey's ready. Here's the pitch. And there it is. A swing and a miss. Struck him out of the breaking ball. Jay's offense has become very quiet here of late. We'll head to the 7th inning. The momentum right now with the Bears. It's a 3-3 ball game, though. Creighton and Missouri State on 16-20 the zone. As we head to the 7th inning with John Bishop of David Gustafson here at TD Bear Trade Park on this early Friday evening. 3-3 ball game. It's been a good one. Jays offensively have quieted down, though, since that big 3-run first inning. And the bullpen has been knocked around a little bit here in the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning, giving up 3 runs.
You got to deal with the heart of the order, Medrano, Chafin, and Seifert here in the top of the 7th. We will get to the trivia question in this inning. We didn't even get, it was so exciting towards the end of the game, we didn't get to the answer of last night's, but that's usually what we end up doing anyway.
Kevin Medrano's the hitter.
So we'll give you the answer to last night's Kidwell trivia question. The only former Valley Player of the Year that has appeared in a Major League game this season. And the answer is Casey Blake, Wichita State's Player of the Year in 1996. He played for the LA Dodgers. Now, that was last night's. Time for today's.
0-1 is the count to Medrano. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
4 former Valley Freshmen of the Year are still playing in the big leagues. How many can you name? One's pretty easy, because we've talked about him in last week's round of trivia.
Right. The 0-2. Grounded back to the mound, and somehow
Olay!
McGraw comes up with it, and Olay is right. He just stuck the glove down there, and it's stuck in the mitt, and there's now
he did.
One away.
I mean, that, let's see, we're going to watch the replay again, but he kind of, he just kind of swipes the glove out there and makes a great play, and that's the first time we retired him.
Here's Brock Chaffin. Well, one's Ryan Howard. We already talked about that last week.
Yep. Oh, boy.
I don't know. I mean, there's 3 other ones. Here's Chaffin, takes strike 1.
Well, it was Pelfrey, a Freshman of the Year, pitcher for the Mets from Wichita.
Boy.
I've not looked at the answer.
Coy Hill, was he a?
Coy Hill, maybe.
Sure. 1-1 is the count here to Brock Chaffin. You haven't looked at the answer yet?
No, I'm going to here in a second. I was right. Pelfrey's 1. Howard is 1. Other 2 are a little harder.
2-1 the count to Chaffin. Throw strikes if you're Reese McGraw. That's what you've been asked to do.
Yeah, the other two are quite a bit harder. We'll get to the answer here in a little bit.
So right now it's up to Reese. There's nobody behind him. It's not missing by much. It's 3-1 though to Chaffin. About to walk the go-ahead run on. 3 balls and a strike. You don't want to put a man on in front of Seifert. Been red hot all tournament long. And he did. He walked him. What's your answer?
The answer is Jerry Hairston Jr. For the Washington Nationals, he was the Freshman of the Year from Southern Illinois in 1996. Of course, we mentioned Ryan Howard, Freshman of the Year at Missouri State in '99 with the Phillies. Mike Pelfrey, 2003 Freshman of the Year at Wichita for the Mets. And Mitch Stetter of the Milwaukee Brewers was Freshman of the Year at Indiana State in 2000.
Reese McGraw can't find the strike zone. Ball 5 out of the last 6 now. It's 1-0 the count here to Seifert.
And you got Voigt swinging a hot stick. He's hit the ball hard 3 times.
A free pass to Chaffin. He's the go-ahead run. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Mark Winkelman showed the way. The way is to throw strikes early.
Chase Webb now up throwing for the Blue Jays in their bullpen. And Reese McGraw will step off the hill. Top of the 7th, Jays trying to keep this a 3-3 contest and go to that 7th inning stretch. The 1-1. 2-1.
Big pitch here. This is a good hitter's count.
You got a very good hitter at the plate. 291 of the year, 9 home runs, 43 driven in. And 2 balls and a strike. Runner goes. It was a hit and run, fouled back against the screen, so it's 2-2.
Well, Keith Gutton learning his lesson from last week. He's been sending runners in these counts to stay out of double plays. Double plays hurt his team last weekend against the Jays in the series sweep by the Creighton Blue Jays.
2 balls and 2 strikes. A runner at first and 1 down in the inning. And the 2-2. That could be 2. McGraw steps, fires to second for 1. The relay onto first is in time. Oh, they call him safe. Safe at first is the call by the first base umpire, Todd Ullinger.
We'll watch it again on replay. He might have been safe. The problem was McGraw had a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of the mitt to start the double play. And they won't show us a replay. And actually, they've been keeping some of the more controversial ones off the screen.
Fielder's choice puts Seifert on.
Not to incite any rioting.
Yeah. Here's Luke Voigt. And outside. You're right. I mean, it took him just a hair to get it out of the mitt, but
that also, that not only slows things down, but it throws off the timing for Swift.
Step and throw to first. 1-0 is the count with 2 down. So can Reese McGraw somehow wiggle out of this trouble? The good news is there is 2 away. But a very good hitter, and Luke Voigt at the plate. Hammered down the right field line, angling. That's going to reach the seats. Now to play. Wichita State is already in the championship game tomorrow night.
Not much stress for them today.
No. Step and throw to first, closer than it probably should have been at first, and diving back in safely is Seifert.
Wichita scored 7 runs in the first 2 innings and cruised to a 9-0 win.
The 1-1 pitch, hammered, foul down the left field line, off of the tarp, and then continues to skip through the rows of seats. Finally, somebody gets it down the line.
So the Shockers getting a great effort today from their starter, Zach Behringer. A one-hit shutout through 6.
1-2. Popped foul at a play. Breaking pitch was wasted. And it'll be retrieved by one of the club level seats.
And then Albert Minnis finished off the last 3 innings. So Wichita State should be well rested pitching wise, and we might see Charlie Lowell tomorrow.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing. They'll see if he went around. And the first base umpire says no, he did not. Todd Ollinger hears it again. Looked pretty close.
Oh, it was very close.
2 balls and 2 strikes. McGraw ready. Runner goes. Throw down to second is in time at second. A great throw from Scott Thornburg to cut him down. They gunned down Brett Seifert at second, and that'll end the inning. We'll stretch here at TD Ameritrade. Great play by the Jays, and maybe that's the spark they need to get going here in the 7th. 3-3 ball game on 1620 The Zone. As we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning, it's a 3-3 contest, semifinal matchup, Creighton and Missouri State. It'll be Gabriel Thibodeau, followed by Mike Gerber, and then Chance Ross. 7, 8, and 9 of the order. They are a combined 1 for 6 so far tonight. That one was Chance Ross, who led off the 5th inning with a single, then was picked off at first base. Thibodeau scalded the ball his first time up against Grant Gordon, who was caught at the warning track. Against J.C. Casey, he looked uncomfortable there with an opportunity to drive in a run in the 4th inning. He struck out swinging.
And that run is looming large, that stranded runner at third base with less than 2 out.
1-0. And on the outside corner, it's a ball and a strike to Thibodeau.
Give you an idea how few base runners the Jays have enjoyed. They've only stranded 3 runners. But all 3 were in scoring position.
The 1-1 off speed, and he swung right over top of it. And he's down to the count, 1-2. J.C. Casey, Jays have not been able to hit him. They've scraped a few hits against him, 3 hits against him in all, but one was a bloop double by Kuno. Judkins down the line. Curveball misses inside and low. And then you had that leadoff single we talked about for Chance Ross. So he is into his 6th inning of work in relief of Grant Gordon. Popped foul, and it'll drift out of play.
One of the big differences between last night and tonight is the overall energy level. You know, last night, the Jays were fighting and fighting and fighting. There were competitive at bats. Crowd was into the game.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Called strike 3. And Thibodeau frustrated with himself.
Right now, there's a lot of nervous apprehension.
Yeah, just go up there swinging.
Yeah. 7 strikeouts now by Casey, and that's a career high, by far and away a career high. or at least a season high. I shouldn't say a career high. He had 5 strikeouts against Western Illinois. This is his longest outing of the season.
Here's Mike Gerber, who has struck out swinging both times. Line towards right field, and that is going to bounce in front of the right fielder. That was very close from being caught by Spiker Helms, but he catches it on a short hop, so it's a 1-out base hit for Gerber.
Thankfully, he was playing deep, because if he's playing medium depth right field, he catches that one easily.
All right, let's put somebody in motion here. That's what you'd like. Maybe we'll see it here. Be aggressive. You got good speed, a good hitter, a good contact hitter, and Chance Ross. J.C. Casey ready. Delivers. It's in the dirt. Blocked by Marshall.
Been a lot of stress on the Jays the last 4 innings offensively for Missouri State. Creighton has put little of that pressure on Missouri State. It was exactly the opposite last night.
1-0. And Gerber takes off. Hit and run was on. It's a chopper. It'll keep him out of the double play. The throw is to first only. So it'll be a 2-out opportunity for Alex Staley. As Ross grounds out. The hit and run was on, but at least you stay out of the double play.
So it acts almost like a sacrifice. Actually, it works exactly like a sacrifice. It's just not scored one. And Alex Staley, he has not enjoyed a great tournament. He is just 2 for 18, but those 2 hits have brought in home runs.
And he dialed up a 2-out base hit here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Gerber leads away from second. That's low and inside, 1-0.
He has struck out and popped out against Casey.
2 pop outs and a strikeout altogether here in this game. A ball and no strikes. And the pitch to Staley. Grounded towards third and in on it. With the throw to first is Seifert. And that'll end the inning. Staley frustrated a little bit with himself. Jays leave a man in scoring position for the 4th time here tonight. So we go to the 8th inning. It's Creighton 3, Missouri State 3 on 1620 The Zone. Three runs on 6 hits for both teams as we go to the 8th inning. David Gustafson, I'll turn it back over to John Bishop.
Thanks, David, but it has been a tale of 2 games. The first inning belonged to the Jays. It was neutral in the 2nd and the 3rd. 4th through the 7th innings have belonged to Missouri State, where the Bears have had runners on base in each of the last 4 innings, and they've scored their 3 runs. To lead it off, it's Luke Voigt. First pitch swinging, he chops it foul, first base side towards the camera well. Voigt was at the plate when Brent Seifert was erased trying to steal second. He is 2 for 3. He has hit the ball hard all 3 times. The pitch outside. This is the 3rd inning of relief for Reese McGraw. The pitch swung on and hit in the air towards Kuno in left. He's over there. Called off by Mike Gerber at the last minute. Gerber will make the catch. 1 away. The first time today that Voigt has not made solid contact. And that will end the day for Reese McGraw. He fought his way valiantly in the 6th inning, unfortunately allowing the 2-out double to the pinch hitter Massenberg that tied this game. And despite giving up a walk, he had to get out of a jam to finish the 6th to keep the game tied. Also walked a man in the 7th. So Reese McGraw's day is done, and here comes Chase Webb.
On for the 25th time. He now has an ERA of 4.54, 4-1 overall record. 35 and 2/3 innings of work for Webb. He's given up 35 hits, 25 strikeouts, 19 walks, 18 earned runs, 20 altogether. Opponent's hitting .255 off of Chase Webb. And we thought maybe we'd see Chase a little earlier here in the ball game, but he comes in with 1 out in the 8th inning.
Well, what you have, if you look back at what Webb did earlier in this tournament, he threw 3 1/3 innings and of 1-hit shutout baseball. And I'm trying to remember, I didn't mark it down in my book when that was. That was against, I think it was Missouri State. Yeah, it was Missouri State. He came in when the game was 5-2 and kept it that way through the middle innings, but then when he relinquished, the rest of the bullpen struggled. So Webb's last appearance was Wednesday night. And this is, I mean, if you think about it, Dave, what you have left is Webb and Spomer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, it's up to these two guys to finish it off.
Right.
And the offense to get a run here.
So,
I mean, as crazy it sounds, I mean, the only other one you can really think of out of there is Eric Mattingly.
Yeah. And then you're dealing with, you know, you got your guys from games 1 and 2. So with 1 out, nobody on, here's Spiker Helms, and the first pitch, a fastball for a strike. The junior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Cowley Community College. Helms today is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 6th on that pinch hit, 2-run double by Massenberg. Ball 1 misses low. Jays running out of arms in a tie ball game. Here's the pitch. He missed low, and it's 2-1.
Key is to throw strikes, and coming out of the pen, want to jump ahead. He did. Now he's throwing back-to-back balls wide of the zone. Just to find a way to battle back here in the 2-1 count.
The pitch. Just outside ball 3, and Helms is a good base runner too.
Well, and Helms knows that the strike zone is very small tonight, so he can stand up there and take those outside pitches with confidence that they're not going to be called. So, I mean, that's an advantage for the hitter, and give credit to Spiker Helms.
3 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball, sharply hit, but right at Alex Staley. He's got it on 2 hops. And Helms trying to coax the out call. Staley kind of played it a little nonchalantly there, but Helms hustling down the line made it a lot closer play. But 2 away now for Travis McCormick.
And Spiker Helms, type of guy that to me appears to be one of that always is trying to coax that safe call. I mean, we've seen him for 7 games now, and shows a lot of hustle every time.
McCormick takes the strike. He is 1 for 3 today. A single in the 5th. 3-3 ball game in the top of the 8th inning. The winner plays for the Valley Tournament title and the automatic bid to the NCAA Tournament tomorrow night against Wichita State. Ball 1 misses low. The general consensus is that the Jays have already played themselves into an at-large bid. But Ed Service, though he's been speaking very confidently about that scenario the last couple of weeks, here's the pitch. chopped foul, and it's now 1-2, saying that, hey, if we win the Valley regular season title, we've got a good enough RPI we should be in. And that RPI has only grown stronger, 35 today to start the day. Conference RPI of 7. You've got a 42-14 record right now. The worst you could be is 42-15. That should be a good enough resume. The 1-2. He fouls it off, stays alive. Omaha Glass foul ball.
With that being said, this is a very competitive team, and don't think for a second they don't want to win this thing here in this tournament either.
No, there's no question they do. And if they somehow come out of this one and somehow win tomorrow, they will have come from a long way back. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, tailing away from Kuno. He's on the run, still on the run, and he dives and he can't make the catch. Ball gets away from him. McCormack digging hard for second, taking a wide turn, and then turns back.
And it may be time. I mean, Clay has really helped out offensively, but it may be time to go to a defensive replacement in left. I mean, Clay doesn't have the greatest speed in the world, and he gave a valiant effort, but that's 3 balls that he's just been out of the reach of tonight.
Well, and the advantage you had there for Missouri State and McCormack was, as a lefty, again, that ball has a fade effect and would continue to tail away from Kuno. And Clay was kind of swung around a little more towards the alley, so he had a long way to run. And look who's up, Massenberg, who delivered the 2-out game-tying double the first time, and now he takes ball 1 outside. So we've been talking all about unsung heroes the last 2 days. Here's one for Missouri State, and he can be a huge one right here. Swung on, hit in the air, towards Kuno, on the run, going back, still going back, reaches up and makes the catch.
Never mind, leave him in, John.
Oh, my. And Massenberg, frustrated, he almost got it over the head of Clay Kuno. We take a breath, and we head to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 3 on 16:20 the zone. On for his 7th inning of relief, J.C. Casey. The senior out of Springfield, Missouri, has never gone this deep in a game this season.
Neither had Greg Hellick yesterday.
Really, if you think about it, he is Greg Hellick from yesterday. The only difference is for Missouri State, they started Grant Gordon, and Gordon got crushed for 3 runs in the first. It'll be Judkins, Swift, and Adams. Bottom of the 8th, we are tied at 3. How are the Jays going to score a run? Swing and a foul straight back. Judkins today is 1 for 2. He walked and scored in the first. He doubled with 2 outs, but was left stranded in the 5th. That double did come off of Casey. We are tied at 3 here in the semifinal game. Ball 1 misses low. The pitch count,
it's got to be
on
climbing.
Casey. He is at 82.
Well, not terrible.
They do have right-handed activity down in the bullpen. You've got to believe that Dan Kickham is stirring. That may be Kickham down there in the pen. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he bounced one in there, 2-1. Kickham is the first team All-Valley closer who has 13 saves this year. Two balls and a strike. Swung on, a bouncing ball to second. Down on it is Medrano, and he throws out.
Oh, he's been
Nick
almost
Judkins.
untouchable, John, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a few hits here and there, but it's been so sparse that there's no threat.
Well, really, the best chance the Jays had was the fifth inning. Well, two chances, really. The fourth, when Kuno doubled with one out and was wild pitched to third, but Thibodeau and Gerber struck out. The next best chance was the fifth when Ross led off with a single but was picked off at first base. And wouldn't you know it, Judkins followed with a two-out double. Swing and a miss by Swift. He is 0 for 3 today and has not really had a good at-bat. He has struck out twice. He is grounded to third.
He was 0 for last night, 0 for 5.
Senior from West Des Moines, Iowa. Trying to find a way on base. Ball one, low and outside.
You know, the game the Jays lost, he went 2 for 4 and drove in a run against Missouri State here in the Valley Tournament.
Fastball right down the middle, and Jimmy's got to pull the trigger. That's a hittable pitch. You can't wait for the pitch to be called a ball. Have to be aggressive. Jays have not been aggressive against Casey. Breaking ball in the dirt. And of course now what you've done is you set up Swift for a strikeout. And that's exactly what Casey was trying to do.
Yeah.
Break off that curveball that he knows that Swift has been susceptible to in this tournament.
And he'll probably see at least 2 more if he doesn't get him right here to chase that pitch out of the zone.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch by Casey. And there's the curveball, and he struck out. So 3 strikeouts for Jimmy Swift, 8 strikeouts for J.C. Casey, who is, without question, the most valuable player of this game. So it's up to Trevor Adams. Unfortunately, there's nobody on base. It's not home run conducive weather. Adams had an RBI double to start the scoring in the first. He walked but was caught stealing in the third. He grounded out his last time up. 3-3 our score in the bottom of the 8th inning. And a curveball for a strike. You almost get the picture that Casey could throw all night if he needed to.
Yeah.
He could just keep on going. The Energizer Bunny out there. The 0-1. Ball low.
Oh, he called that a strike.
He called it a strike? How in the world is that a strike? Josh Shepis, that is a terrible call. That is an absolutely brutal call. And Adams doubled over in frustration, and he's going to come talk to Ed Service. Josh Shepis flat out blew that call. That is god-awful. His strike zone has been erratic this afternoon, and Adams taking his helmet off in frustration. Well, Josh, you missed that one, pal. You missed it, and you missed it badly. And now Ed Service is letting him have it. He is letting him have it. And now he walks back down to the third base coaching box. Josh, that one's on you. An awful, awful call.
I mean, that's...
But if you're Trevor Adams now, you got to get your head straight.
That's the problem here. You just got to straighten up. Fight it off, Trevor.
No balls, 2 strikes. Casey's trying to set him up. And here's the pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball, a roller out to short. This will be a 1-2-3 inning. And another one for J.C. Casey.
If you're Trevor, he had to swing at it because it's probably going to be a strike.
Right.
It's unfortunate for the Jays, but still tied up here. And you got a chance to win it.
We go to the 9th. You're listening to 1620 The Zone. So Chase Webb heading out for his second inning of work. He came in with 1 out in the 8th, gave up a 2-out double, but left him stranded. And as David speculated, we have a defensive replacement for Clay Cuno in left. It is Michael Blatchford.
And kudos to Clay. I mean, that's not his natural position in left field. He did a very nice job, made a great play on Massenberg there to end that last inning, went back and got it, but it's that time of the day where you need the defensive prowess out there, and Michael Blatchford can cover more ground, and is more of a natural outfielder than Clay is.
So here's Brett Marshall. He has walked twice and grounded out. 3-3 our score in the top of the 9th inning. And the first pitch of the inning for Chase Webb is in there for a strike.
Let's put it this way. If there's a questionable call, Josh Shepis will hear it from this faithful fan of the Blue Jays here tonight.
Josh Shepis has heard it from both sides, but his worst call was that second strike to Trevor Adams on a pitch that looked very similar to the one that Chase Webb just threw, low and outside and in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Marshall, Conway, Medrano. There's a strike over the outside corner, and a Bronx cheer goes up from the crowd. There is activity down in that bullpen. Spomer is there. And is that Mattingly? I think so. Curveball, did he go around? No. You're not going to get that call this late in the ball game. That bat has to really come around if you're going to get that swinging strike. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the catcher, Brett Marshall, and the pitch. Popped up, but that will reach the seats. Marshall trying to fight his way on in front of the top of the order. A run could win it. And he rode a fastball in tight. Now it's 3-2.
Don't give him a free pass. Chase Webb, go get him.
Jays fans sensing the tension, trying to get a strike out of Webb, the 3-2. And he turns on one, but crushes it foul into the seats. Left field side. 2 walks today for Marshall. He had 6 all year coming into the game. Admittedly, though, only 81 at bats. Here's the 3-2. And a cold strike 3 on the outside corner, and Josh Shepis atones, at least in the minds of the Jays fans.
Well, that's a borderline pitch there as well, and it's close enough for Brett Marshall's got at least to offer at it. Right on the black. If the Jays don't get that call, might see something set out of the dugout.
You would have had a lot set out of the dugout, I'm sure. So here's Conway, 0 for 3 today. First pitch swinging, fouls it back in Omaha glass foul ball. Conway, a good guy to keep off base. So far the Jays have done that with his 19 stolen bases. Missouri State has held the momentum in this game since the 4th inning. But those 3 runs in the first still somehow holding up. Ball 1, low and outside. As J.C. Casey has come in and thrown 7 shutout innings out of the pen. The pitch is hit in the air to Trevor Adams in right. Adams started back on it. Now will come in. He's under it, makes the catch, 2 away.
It's not that Casey's been unhittable, John, but he's just been able to work around the hits so well here. The Jays have never really threatened, other than Cuno at third with 1 away in the 4th inning.
Right. He's allowed 4 hits. And really, you could say he's allowed 3 hits because that bloop double by Cuno was misplayed. Here's the first pitch to Kevin Medrano. He has been on base 3 times today. 2 singles and a hit by pitch. Low ball 1. 3-3, top of the 9th. Who will be the hero? Line drive, base hit, right field. So there's Medrano, the possible game-winning run. And you'd have to deal with Brock Chafin, who's 0 for 2 today with a sacrifice and a walk. He got a low fastball and drove it into right field. The 8th Bear hit. Remember, Missouri State's runs have all been scored with 2 outs. Creighton's 3 runs
2 of them
were all scored with 2 outs. Low ball 1. But those runs came what seems like an eternity ago. Way, way back in the first inning.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes to Brock Chafin, the DH. Leading hitter on the team heading into today's game. The pitch, and he fouls it back and out of play to our left. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Jays trying to fight their way out of the losers bracket. They fought their way back valiantly last night, coming back from 3 separate 2-run deficits. But here today, they played with the lead early on and have been flirting with danger the rest of the way. Breaking ball missed low, and it's 2-1.
It's going to be a hittable pitch here, you would think, for Chaffin.
2 balls and a strike.
Into play at somebody.
Throw to first. Close play. A close play at first base. But Todd Ollinger said he just got in under the tag. Madrano was leaning. Judkins trying to convince the umpire that he was out by starting to run his way towards the dugout after he laid the tag. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. And he missed outside ball 3.
You got to throw strikes, Chase. I mean, and that's the problem here. You're about to walk the winning run, or at least the go-ahead run, into scoring position. It's 3-1. You can't be too cute because Chaffin can drive it out of the ballpark.
But you wonder about fatigue in this game. 5th game in 3 days for the Creighton Blue Jays. Chase Webb, a 3-1 count. He throws to first. He threw, I think it was 56 pitches on Wednesday night. 52 pitches. Here's the 3-1, and he missed. No, they call a strike on the inside corner. Chafin thought it was a ball, and it might have been a ball.
Pretty close.
But whatever's good for Adams, I guess, is good for Chafin, and now it's 3-2. And Jays Nation getting on its feet. Like a punch-drunk Rocky Balboa, the Jays dangling on the ropes right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There goes the run of the pitch, and he missed low, ball 4.
Well, it's decision time, and Ed has made the decision not to allow Chase Webb to face Brent Seifert. I would assume it's going to be Kurt Spomer.
No, wait a minute. He has thrown up his hand, or has he? I thought he threw up his hand like he wasn't going to make the call.
Well, Spomer's running in, so maybe Kurt just assumes he's getting the call.
Yeah, he is. He must have made the call before I looked up at him, so it is indeed a pitching change as Chase Webb has allowed a 2-out single and a 2-out walk. The winning run, the potential winning run, we're in the top of the 9th, is at second base.
Spomer on for the 32nd time. He has an ERA of 2.03. 33 strikeouts, 11 walks, 10 earned runs, 44 in a 3rd inning of work, as I said. 12 saves on the year for Kurt Spomer. Opponent's hitting 194. It's not a save opportunity. It's a hold opportunity right here.
Well, last night, his save was very reminiscent of a Mitch Williams type save. He allowed the first 2 base runners to reach. They were sacrificed to second and third. They intentionally walked the next batter, and then he got 2 pop-ups with the tying and winning runs in scoring position, and the Jays survived here too this afternoon. But here, it's first and second with 2 out. 3-3 ball game, and
Brett Seifert
waiting on deck, and he's getting the close-up treatment from the cameraman here at TD Ameritrade Park. It's not often you see that. I mean, he's right there.
He literally could reach out and tap the camera lens.
If he swings if he just reaches out and swings, that camera is gone. It was Seifert who was an early offensive star yesterday with 2 run-scoring doubles. Today, he's 0 for 4. And he has a chance to be a hero. And Keith Gutton is chasing off the cameraman now. But Kurt Spomer is done with his warm-up tosses. Good speed out there at second base, so if there's a play at the plate, Medrano has the wheels. His run, the most important run right now. 3-3 in the top of the 9th. Remember, Spomer last night had a little too much adrenaline going. He was overthrowing a lot of pitches. But he settled in just enough to get the save. Here's his first pitch. And a breaking ball low and away. It's 1-0.
Kurt's got to be about at the end of his rope, too. I mean, energy-wise, he was asked to save, was that yesterday morning?
No, just one game yesterday. And he overthrew that fastball, and it's low. So now it's 2-0.
Got to come back with a strike here, and that could be dangerous.
He saved the Bradley game.
Yeah, okay.
And then didn't pitch against Missouri State. Didn't pitch against Southern. He didn't need to. He pitched last night. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch. Fastball in there, strike 1.
It just seems like they're all one day to me.
It really does. I mean, 5 games have been played since 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. That is a lot of baseball. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch by Spomer is hit in the air to right field. Adams going back on the run, still on the run. He's there, slides, makes the catch to retire the side. So the Jays, if they can get a run in the 9th, they can escape to Saturday as Rocky, back on the ropes, takes a right, takes a left, and he's still standing against Apollo Creed. Can Rocky land the knockout? We'll be back to find out after this on 1620 The Zone. For his 8th inning of relief, senior J.C. Casey. He has thrown scoreless baseball since the 2nd. He has allowed just 3 hits and 1 walk. It'll be Scott Thornburg. Anthony Bemboom will hit in the Kuno position. Remember, Kuno was lifted for Blatchford defensively. And then we presume Gabe Thibodeau. 3-3, bottom of the 9th. Can Rocky land that one magic punch? Here's the first pitch by Casey. And it's low, ball 1.
If Thornburg could reach, it'll put the wheels in motion. You could do a number of different things. You could pinch run for him.
I'm sure they would, too.
Because you could have Bemboom then catch.
You would have to insert a new left fielder, but you'd have Bowens off the bench. Here's the 1-0, and Thornburg chops it foul past third. Had a pretty good swing on it. Casey has got to be laboring here. He has never thrown this many pitches this season, not even close. He's at 93, but he has been valiant as well. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch, and he bounced it in there. How many times do you see a reliever throw 100 pitches? Casey is 6 away. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch to Thornburg. He checked his swing, ball 3.
Well, if he walks him, does this change who hits? I mean, Bemboom has not been announced yet. You could pinch hit Joey Bones if you're going to bunt. If Thornburg can reach here, you know what I mean, John?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Bowen's a much better bunter. 3 balls and a strike. Thornburg trying to find his way on. The pitch. Swing and a line drive. Base hit into left field. Scotty Thornburg comes through to lead off the 9th inning. And that's the winning run.
Well, here they're going to pinch run. It'll be McEwen to run for Thornburg. It will be Bemboom to hit, though.
So McEwen to pinch run as Thornburg delivers a sharp single, and here comes Keith Gutton. I'm presuming that is Kickham down in the bullpen. He is holding his hand up as Keith Gutton to say, I'm not making my decision yet. Now he's putting both palms out there and saying, hold on, guys, hold on. Now Kickham should be ready. I mean, he's been up the last 2 innings. But right now, he's also buying some time, gauging what his pitcher is going through. Casey's at 97 pitches, and he's leaving him in. Keith Gutton is going with his gut.
Now the wheels are turning out. So Bemboom will hit. Will he be asked to sacrifice is the other question.
Bemboom has 12 sacrifices this year. Bowens has 10. The winning run is at first with nobody out here in the 9th. Bemboom shows bunt and the pitch, and it's well outside ball 1. Bemboom in the tournament is 2 for 12. He had an RBI triple against Missouri State on Wednesday night. 1 ball, no strikes. Throw to first. McEwen is back. Remember, Casey picked off Chance Ross earlier in the game. He has 3 pickoffs this year. And you've got a young freshman at first base. It's a tough situation for him to be in. But he has to grow up right here and be alert at first. And there's the throw, and he's safe. Oh, my, that was close.
All right, stay a step closer if you're McEwen.
Yeah, you got it. And which is why I'm curious as to why Bowens isn't pinch running. Bowens, maybe not as fast as McEwen, but he still has good speed. And he's obviously a veteran ball player. Here's the pitch. Wide, ball 2.
Well, now if you're McEwen, you cheat back towards the bag even a half step closer because of the 2-0 count. And J.C. Casey's play is to try and pick you off.
That's advantage Missouri State, because if the ball isn't bunted quite right, they have a play at second. Remember those throwing errors, though. 2 balls, no strikes. Throw to first, and oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, was he close?
Just stay out of the bag for now.
Oh my goodness! It's not often we kind of question any decisions, but I wish that were Joey Bowens out there.
I'm not so sure about that. I'm just saying, Brad McEwen, stay closer to the bag. That's the good lead right there. Stay there.
But again, shortening that lead, making it possible to play at second. The 2-0 pitch, and he takes a strike. He pulled the bat back. He was waiting to see that strike. So this becomes the big pitch in the sequence. If it's a strike, you've got to get the bunt down. The winning run at first, nobody out in a 3-3 ball game. Casey, the throw to first.
Okay, my point is, John,
he's back.
I know he wanted to get a decent lead. However, once he goes home, you can take the 2.5 step lead after that. So stay close to the bag, which he did there on that play.
You're almost hoping for a softball lead, a running lead.
You know what? Fine.
Stay on the bag. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you hate to say that, but my gosh, this has been close. Bemboom wants time, and he gets it. And Ed Service wants to talk to Anthony Bemboom.
I think Ed Service wants to talk to the home plate umpire about a possible balk. I mean, J.C. Casey's got a great move. It's a phenomenal move. But a lot of guys who have a really good move, John, are borderline balkers.
Well, we've seen Keith Gutton working umpires. He works umpires consistently. And you can just tell how badly Creighton wants to win this game. They may not need to win this game. They may be NCAA bound anyway. But Ed Service takes nothing for granted. 2 balls and a strike. Tension-filled 9th inning. Casey is ready. Throw to first. He's back. Again, McEwen not getting as big a lead, and the last 2 times he's thrown over there hasn't even been a tag applied by Luke Voigt.
Just stand like that. Here's your softball lead. He had that for a second. The toe on the bag.
2 balls and a strike. Bemboom shows bunt. The pitch. He pops up the bunt, and it lands and rolls foul.
Boy, that was close to staying in fair territory.
It was also close. Well, not really close to being caught, but
it hung up in the air too long. You're right.
But unfortunately now there's 2 strikes. And if you bunt foul here, you strike out. And usually Ed Service takes the bunt off with 2 strikes. But does he do that here?
Does he go to hit and run?
Does he roll the dice? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Casey throws to first, runner is back.
That was almost a given, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Casey's no dummy. He's a senior. He knows he's been very close. Go to the well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch home. Swing, and he ripped it foul back into the screen.
Not a hit and run, but Anthony protecting. Fouls it off.
Well, we talk about the Jays in the role of Rocky Balboa right now. J.C. Casey is scrapping his way back. Remember, it was 2-0 on Bemboom.
I think he's probably going to come over to first again here.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. He'll go to first.
You can almost sense it when he's going to do it now. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do it right here again.
Fans booing, but if you're Casey, you still think there's water in that well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's his pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball towards second. The out at second, the relay. Safe!
See, that's where in that situation you wonder if you don't try to move him. It put McEwen in motion. You know what I mean, John? Hit and run.
But remember, all those throws over to first, you worry about a young freshman maybe taking off too soon.
But he's taking off when you're going. It's a hit and run. It's not a straight steal. That's the difference.
True.
You have to commit him, go home, and then you take off.
Well, here's Gabe Thibodeau. Bemboom now at first. Not nearly the speed of McEwen. And the pitch. And a big swing and a miss at a curveball.
And Thibodeau just absolutely pulled his head on that pitch.
Talk about a pressure situation here. Gabe Thibodeau is 0 for 3 today. But Ed Service staying with him. He flew out deep to end the first, and he struck out the 2 times against Casey. He's over 100 pitches now. The pitch. Swing and a miss. My goodness, he swung at a terrible, terrible pitch. And
it's 2 in a row. I mean, he has not been close.
Thibodeau not comfortable up there against Casey. He did him 2 enormous favors. And Gabe knows it as he stands in that batter's box.
Neither one was even relatively close to the strike zone. But Thibodeau over anxious and expanded the zone.
1 out, runner at first. That's the winning run at first. Throw to first, and Bemboom is back. A 3-3 game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The leadoff man reached on the single by Thornburg, but Bemboom was unable to get down the sacrifice and grounded into a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
The only pitch that was a strike.
The last 2 breaking balls were way off the plate and in the dirt. And Gabe marches back, humiliated, to the dugout. That leaves it all up to Mike Gerber, who himself has struck out twice against Casey. He did lace a single into right his last time up. J.C. Casey, pitching out of his own jam, pitching for his team's season. There is no at-large bid waiting in the wings for them. First pitch low and inside to Gerber, ball 1.
One of the few times Jays have not executed that bunt could come really back to haunt them here in this 9th inning.
One ball and no strikes. Casey is obviously laboring out there, but he's fighting through the fatigue. The pitch, fastball missed outside, ball 2.
Still activity from Kickham, I believe, in that pen for Missouri State.
Remember, you can't pinch run for Bemboom. He's going to replace Thornburg at catcher. 2 balls, no strikes. And he popped him up. Into left field, on the run there, and making the catch right on the line is Matea. And so we will play extra innings. The Jays get a hit and strand 1 to the 10th, tied at 3 on 16:20 the zone. So we head to the 10th inning in this Missouri Valley Conference baseball semifinal between the Creighton Blue Jays and Missouri State Bears. Jays scored all 3 runs in the first inning off of starter Grant Gordon. Keith Gutton then went to the bullpen thinking, I'm going to need probably 4 or 5 innings out of J.C. Casey. He's gotten 8 of scoreless baseball.
Well,
Meanwhile, the Jays have been fighting. I mean, they haven't retired the side in order since Winkleman was in the game back in the 3rd inning. They've been constantly battling with stress as runners have been on base. Luke Voigt will lead it off. And the first pitch swinging, it's a towering fly ball deep into left field. Blatchford going back. He's at the track, and he makes the catch. He took Is it still? No.
It's got to be McEwen.
Yeah, it is. It's McEwen. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's McEwen because he came in to pinch run, and he took kind of an awkward angle as Voigt golfed that one. He thought he might have had enough. Not quite enough, but McEwen, in a pressure-packed situation, makes the catch for the first out.
Got a mile to run, too.
Here's the pitch to Spiker Helms, and he takes a strike. It's Kurt Spomer for his 2nd inning of relief. He came in and got Brent Seifert to fly out to end the 9th.
I've never understood that, where a guy is in the batter's box, spinning around his bat, holds his hand up the entire time, and your pitcher's coming set, and he still continues to do it.
The 0-1.
And then it's granted by the umpire. I mean, if you're in the box and you get yourself set, you're there.
Yep.
Hit then.
Exactly right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Helms today is 0 for 3 with a walk. He scored a run. And the pitch way outside, 2-1. This is a tough spot for Spomer, who's usually used to working an inning. Now, granted, he only faced one batter in the ninth, but this is not a safe situation. This is a hold. There's a line shot into left, and that's going to be down for a base hit. McEwen having problems coming up with it. Does come up with it. Runner taking off for second. He's going to make it.
The throw went to the cutoff instead of the bag at second. That's a huge mistake. Could cost the Jays a run.
And that's going to be a hit and an error. As McEwen bobbled it out there, and that allowed the runner, Spiker Helms, to be aggressive. And so the winning run, the potential, again, top of the ninth, top of the 10th, the potential winning run in scoring position. They haven't posted the error. I'm surprised there isn't one yet. They may still be talking about it. But McEwen had problems picking it up out there out of the grass in left center, and Helms was hustling all the way. They might rule, too, that because he was rounding, that he takes the base on the throw. Curveball in there for a strike to Travis McCormack. He is 2 for 4 today.
Double.
It will be a double. I stand corrected. So credit Spiker Helms. He wasn't stopping. No balls and a strike. The pitch, bouncing ball back to Spomer. He looks back the runner, and to first he throws. In time, he had to cross Judkins over the bag.
Good play by Kurt, though, to look back Spiker Helms. You say, well, it's not going to score the run. Yeah, but a wild pitch uncorked or something like that, goofy, could have scored a run.
The reason we are still playing is because of this young man right here, Trey Massenberg, who pinch hit a 2-run double to score the tying runs in the 6th inning. And they're going to walk him intentionally to get to Marshall, setting up a righty-righty matchup. Massenberg also had a chance to be a hero with 2 outs in the 8th and flew out to left field. So they will intentionally walk Massenberg, and they'll make Marshall bat here in the 10th inning. We're tied at 3. One more pitch to go before the intentional pass is complete.
Put your righty on righty, John, and does set up a force play at any of the 3 bags.
So after the intentional 4-pitch walk, Brent Marshall, the batter, he struck out looking in the 9th. We're in the 10th. He is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. Big spot here for the catcher. Go-ahead run at second, insurance run at first, and the first pitch to Marshall is on the outside corner for a strike.
Good pitch from Kurt. Had a lot of movement on that fastball.
In the 10th, it'll be Ross, Staley, Judkins. Will the Jays get there? Still tied at 3. The pitch. Chopped it foul, 0-2.
All right, it's 0-2. I'd rather see the out pitch right here.
This game is almost 3 hours old. Jays fans rise to their feet. Can they somehow put another goose egg on the scoreboard? Runners lead at first and second. Marshall and the 0-2 pitch. And they almost got it, but it missed off the plate. Bemboom was set up outside. The pitch came a little more to the left shoulder of Bemboom, but the strike is not called. And of course, Josh Shepis, who has had a very erratic strike zone, is hearing it from the Jays fans. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. And he struck him out swinging to retire the side. Runners stranded at first and second. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Still tied at 3 on 16:20 the zone. Do you think J.C. Casey wants to continue his senior season?
As long as his arm will allow him to, yes.
The kid is made of rubber. Casey is about to start his 9th inning of relief. He is at 109 pitches. He has, as of this point, twirled a 3-hit shutout. But his offense hasn't been able to get him that last run to get him over the hump. Casey was a draft pick of the Cubs all the way back in 2007. He's been a relief pitcher all year. His longest outing prior to today was 5 1/3 innings on April the 3rd. He is about to start his 9th inning of relief. Chance Ross, Alex Staley, Nick Judkins. The Jays trying to find that one run to send them to Saturday night. Here's the pitch by Casey, and it's a fastball right in there for a strike. Ross is 1 for 3. He had extra bases robbed on a great catch by Matea back in the 2nd inning. Swung on and popped up. Medrano with a can of corn.
The question is, what do you do if, can't get the run here? Looks like Eric Mattingly. You don't really want to go to Spomer again. He's got to be about the end of his tank.
So here's Staley. He's 0 for 4 today. Jays had a chance in the 9th when Thornburg led off with a single, but Bemboom could not sacrifice him over. And then Thibodeau and Gerber were easy outs. Strike 1 taken by Alex. Here's the pitch. He bounced it in there. Jays are, when you think about it, they are just dangling right now. Just as Casey's arm has to be dangling right now because their offense has been kaput since the 1st inning. Fastball outside, 2-1.
The longer this game goes, the advantage Bears.
It's been advantage Bears in every inning since the 4th. They just haven't. They've stranded 12 base runners. Fastball hit on the ground to short, and up with it is McCormack, 2 away. And I know it sounds like we may be frustrated with his offense, but again, 5 games in 2 days, or a little over 2 days, by hours. The first game started at 9 a.m. Wednesday. They played 2 games Wednesday, played 2 games yesterday, and now they're into their 10th inning of this game today. They have played 46 innings since 9 a.m. Wednesday. Judkins takes the strike. But that's what you have to do in tournament baseball. You have to find guys that can pitch and play with guts, and Missouri State's found one here in J.C. Casey. Line foul down the line, and it's 0-2. Judkins is 0 for 3 today. If you're Casey,
he has a double.
He's had very, very little stress applied on him. Really, the one time he was really stressed was last inning, and he found a way to get out of it. The 0-2 is outside 1-2.
Judkins is 1 for 3 against him, John.
Yep, with the double, which hit the chalk line. But again, that came with 2 outs. So one ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And he fouls it off again. Judkins does have home run power, but the wind has been blowing in from center and right. It's not blowing terribly hard, but no one has really hit the ball terribly hard against Casey here this afternoon. The 1-2, and he reached for a strikeout. He reached at a pitch that was well off the plate, and a 1-2-3 inning And J.C. Casey has gone 9 innings of shutout baseball, and we go to the 11th, tied at 3 on 1620 The Zone. We go to the 11th inning, tied at 3. And Eric Mattingly, first-year Jay, to take to the mound for only the 3rd time this year. Mattingly, this season, has thrown 2 innings, given up 6 runs on 8 hits. Those 6 runs all came against New Mexico. He's pitched in relief once this year, through 2/3 of an inning against Evansville. So, David,
Top of the order.
It's your turn, and it's the top of the order. And it seems like the Bears have just been, punching and punching and punching and punching and punching and trying to get in there. And Casey has given them the opportunity to be in this position. Can they punch across that winning run?
9 shutout innings. Mattingly delivers ball 1 high to Aaron Conway. That's ridiculous, really, for J.C. Casey. Strike 1 delivered to Aaron Conway.
Well, I don't think there's any question. If you just watch the at-bat, you watch that at-bat by Judkins, these guys are on fumes.
Yeah.
I mean, the tank is empty.
1-1. Misses, and it's 2-1. And there's really nobody behind Eric Mattingly at this point.
It's Mattingly versus the world.
Skied towards shallow left field. Jimmy Swift has it, and there is 1 away. So can Mattingly dial up a
scoreless inning?
A heroic performance of his own. It'll be Medrano, who's been a thorn in the side of the Jays all day.
He and Mutchison and Makovic are about the only ones that probably have any juice left.
I don't think you have any arms.
Those latter 2 aren't pitchers.
No, that's what I mean. The hitter is Medrano, who's been on base a lot here this afternoon. In fact, 4 times he has reached. He is 3 for 4 with a hit by pitch. Ball to strike 2. Kevin Medrano. And the pitch from Mattingly. Low, ball 2, 2-1.
I mean, if there's anything we're going to learn from this game is that J.C. Casey's got a lot of guts. And this Jays baseball team has a lot of fight in it. They're fighting through a lot of adversity here.
Bounces in, 2-1.
Trying to somehow 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
Somehow trying to find a way to get a run, but unfortunately they haven't been able to do it since the 1st inning.
3 balls and a strike, and here's the pitch from Mattingly. Walked in ball 4, so the go-ahead run is on. Medrano just been on base all day long. Here's Brock Chaffett, who's reached his last 2 plate appearances, a walk and the 7th inning. And he's singled to the 9th. We're in the top of the 11th. It's a 3-3 game. Eric Mattingly has been used very sparingly. Out of the bullpen is on the hill. And you just want to see him throw strikes.
It's an almost, I'm not going to say impossible, but it's an extremely difficult task to ask for a guy who's only been in 2 games this year on the mound.
And he just can't find his zone. Here comes Ed Service racing out to the hill.
And again, there's nobody left.
No, you just got to calm yourself down. Throw strikes, reach back, let him put it in play and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, really.
The worst thing you want to do is just continue to walk guys and give it to them.
Right. Make them hit it. And, of course, what that means is the Bears, who hit fastballs like they're on a tee, are licking their chops. But what can you do?
At this point, not much. Strike in there. 2-1.
I'm a little surprised that Medrano
is not off and running.
Hasn't been off and running. I mean, Mattingly is really paying him no attention right now.
2 balls and a strike. Grounded. That could be 2. Flip to second for 1. The relay onto first is in time. A 4-6-3 twin killing, and Eric Mattingly gets out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning. 3-3 on 16:20 the zone. Somehow we go to the bottom half of the 11th inning, and somehow J.C. Casey comes out to pitch the 10th inning of work for him. 120 pitches through 9 shutout relief innings.
David, you said it during the break. Senior class, this is your moment. This is your moment. Swift and Adams, first 2 men up. This is your moment.
Eric Mattingly in relief gets the 4-6-3 double play to get out of the top half of the 11th inning. So it's Swift to lead off here in the bottom half against J.C. Casey. Ball 1 outside.
They've had Dan Kickham down there in the bullpen since the 7th inning. 120 pitches, now 121 for a kid who hasn't thrown this many pitches maybe since God knows when.
They 1-0 in their 4th strike, and it's 1-1.
See, and the problem here is, you know, he's got to throw fastballs because I can't imagine he's got much on the arm to be able to break off decent curveballs.
3 strikeouts for Jimmy Swift in the game. The 1-1. And there's the breaking pitch, and Jimmy lays off. And you're right. I mean, he can't have much left on that break.
I'd be curious to see what his velocity chart is, how many miles an hour he's lost off his pitches. Win or lose, this kid's a player.
2-1. And Jimmy lets the fastball go right down the heart of the plate.
You gotta swing. You gotta believe in your swing. You gotta believe in your swing.
Jimmy in jeopardy, striking out for the 4th time, 3 times against Casey. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Outside, so it's 3-2. Now you have to protect.
This sequence has been fastballs for strikes, curveballs for balls. So what is he going to throw him here?
I would say a fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Popped him up on the infield. Mile high. Marshall, the catcher, out to grab it, and Jimmy Swift is retired. They're going to say that was on the exchange. He did drop it, but they'll say it's on the exchange. So Jimmy Swift now 0 for 5 on the day.
You almost get the feeling the Jays have been waiting for this moment. Bring Trevor to the plate and see if he can somehow dial up his 15th home run of the year.
But you just don't have the belief that Casey can get the curveball over.
No. But the wind is blowing in. It's not a great day to hit homers.
Here's Adams. The pitch. Low, ball one. I think that was a breaking pitch. Hard to tell. The velocity on the fastball is not all that there anymore either.
No, that's the thing. He's almost throwing BP. But you got to believe in your swing. If there's a pitch to hit, you got to grip it and you got to rip.
1-0 pitch. 2-0. Brad McEwen is in the on-deck circle.
Jays have not faced this kind of bench depth adversity all season, pitching and hitters off the bench.
2 balls and a strike. The pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. It's 2-1. J.C. Casey, 9 1/3 innings of shutout ball.
Tremendous, tremendous performance.
2-1. The pitch. Tapped in front of the plate. Casey down, sets, fires, fields, 9 2/3. And Brad McEwen's the hitter. Just feel like the legs are incredibly tired right now for the Blue Jays.
Wichita State's got to be loving this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're set for tomorrow night for whoever they take on. Well, you know, Missouri State pitching-wise is probably better off than the Jays are.
Oh, no question about that.
So here's Brad McEwen. With 2 down, takes high for ball 1. McEwen is hitting in the Scott Thornburg portion of the lineup. He's now playing left field as McEwen. And the 1-0 pitch. High for ball 2. A pop out by Jimmy Swift and then a tapper to the mound for Trevor Adams to start in the 11th inning. 2-0 to Brad McEwen. The pitch. Fastball for a strike. It's 2-1.
We've been talking a lot about fatigue with the Jays. And J.C. Casey. What about the position players for Missouri State?
The 2-1. 3-1. Well, I understand, but I mean, they've also played one less game.
True.
And they've had an extra day of rest.
True, but they keep thinking, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? What do we got to do to get home that run?
3 balls and a strike to Brad McEwen. Here's the pitch. Right down the pipe for strike 2, and it's 3-2.
Well, you know, you got a young freshman up there, has not had many plate appearances. He's only had 30 at-bats this year, and it's a really tough spot for him to be in. Talk about confidence in your swing. Hasn't had many swings.
Here's the 3-2. Struck him out. 10 shutout innings of relief for J.C. Casey. We'll go to the 12th. It's 3-3. Blue Jays and the Bears on 1620 The Zone. Now we head to the 12th inning. David Gustafson, I'll kick it back over to you, John. Eric Mattingly worked his way out of trouble, has, for the most part, this pen has done all day long for the Blue Jays, but there's nobody behind Eric Mattingly. J.C. Casey has his entire pen behind him, but he's probably going to come back out if he needs to for his 11th inning of work.
I was reminded of a song during the break. It's by Molly Hatchet. It's called Flirting with Disaster.
Yeah.
And I just hear that song in my head right now. I mean, you just sense that the Jays just holding on for dear life. But unfortunately, their offense has evaporated under the weight of J.C. Casey. As he throws ball one, does Eric Mattingly, Brett Seifert, Luke Voigt, Spiker Helms. Fastball high. Mattingly, who has only pitched in 2 other games this year, somehow got out of the 10th, gave his team a chance, but there was nothing there. Fastball for a strike. And J.C. Casey, after he came off the mound on what was his 11th strikeout, whatever energy he's got left, he showed it, because he was exhorting his teammates to please get me a run.
Man,
get me out of this game, kick him in, and let's go home. 3-1.
And Mattingly just has to throw strikes, because if I'm Missouri State, I'm standing up there. I'm just going to stand there until he walks me.
3 balls and a strike, and the pitch, and he walked him. So Brent Seifert is aboard, and you just have this impending sense that when it does happen,
well, and
it's going to happen big. I mean, because you know, eventually the car's got to run out of gas, and it's got to come to a halt.
You're looking at 5 games in a short amount of time, and now you're into the 12th inning, and you have nobody that can come out and throw behind Eric Mattingly. So you're up against the wall, and you're dog-tired. You've had some opportunities to push that 4th run across and win it, John, but emotionally, you're just about out of gas.
47 innings for Creighton in a little over 2 days. Fastball high. Luke Voigt is 2 for 5 today. The go-ahead run is at first with nobody out. Brent Seifert represents that run. Mattingly trying to find a strike. Low ball 2. Like I said, you get the feeling that once that car stops, Missouri State's going to race by. Snap throw to first, runner's back. That's the other thing too, is, you know, with Mattingly having not thrown much this year, how much has he practiced baseball plays as a pitcher? Throwing to first, fielding his position. Ball 3.
Well, I mean, he was a pitcher in junior college. He's got to throw strikes. I mean, he's
right.
Good enough to throw strikes, and that's what he's being asked to do right now, and he just can't do it. You're about ready to walk 2 on, and if I'm the next Bears hitter, I'm not swinging at anything.
There's a strike. It's 3-1. You got the feeling if it was going to happen for the Jays, it was going to happen in the 11th after you somehow got out of that inning. Mattingly coached the double play. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and hit to center field. Going back is Gerber. He has room. He's there. He makes the catch for the first out.
All right, see, that's better. I mean, just throw strikes.
And I'll be honest with you, Dave. This is a little surprising to me that Keith Gutton, who has been aggressive for most of this game, has really dialed it back. We haven't seen the runners that have been on base moving. I mean, how many times have we seen runners moving to stay out of double plays? It didn't happen in the 11th inning. Seifert not moving here in the throw to first. Now, granted, there's one out here, and if you're Keith Gutton, I think you've got to make something happen. Spiker Helms, the batter. Strike.
Well, I mean, we've mentioned some struggles, John, but you just got to give kudos really to every one in that Jays dugout. It has been one wild tournament.
It's been one long tournament.
Tiresome.
I mean, I look around this ballpark, I'm seeing tired faces everywhere. The 0-1. Threw something off speed. It was in the dirt, 1-1. And that goes for all the support staff, everyone here at TD Ameritrade Park, the people who have put on this event. They've done a great job. It's all about the players right now, and the Jays trying to find a way. The 1-1. She chopped it foul, and it's 1-2.
I mean, the effort has been great. I mean, we've said that they've missed some opportunities, granted, but I mean, the effort overall has been phenomenal, really, from this Jays team for what they have been put through. You had the rain out, the 9 a.m. game, then the 9:45 p.m. game the same day.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Outside 2-2.
You had the 2-ball games yesterday. One of the most intense games of the year last night. And now an extra inning affair here.
2 balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. And he missed inside ball 3. And that's really the big difference. When you've got a young man who has not thrown a lot and put into pressure-packed situations, what do you dial up to try to get that out? Now it's 3-2. There goes the runner in the pitch, and he walked him. And again, there's nobody left down there. It's Eric Mattingly versus the world. Travis McCormack, the batter. Ed Service will come out. What is Ed Service thinking right now? What is he trying to do?
I think he's just trying to say, you know what, Eric? Just throw that thing over the plate and let's see what happens. I mean, what else can you say, really? Everybody knows what the situation is. It's Eric Mattingly.
It's been a gritty performance by the Jays pen, by Jays pitching staff, Jays defense. It's been an outstanding. I can't come up with enough superlatives to describe what J.C. Casey has done today with 10. Is it 10? Yeah, 10 scoreless innings of relief. There's a strike at the knees to Travis McCormack. He is 2 for 5. A single and a double. The go-ahead run is at second. Insurance run at first. Top of the 12th. Tied at 3. And Eric Mattingly will whirl back towards second. McCormack this year has rolled into 4 double plays. Is there any way that Mattingly can get another ground ball? Any way? He looks back at second, and here's the pitch. And he fouls it off. And it's now 2 strikes. But again, he had 2 strikes on Spiker Helms and couldn't find that pitch. A lot of credit to this young man, Eric Mattingly. He's the only body his team has. He's the only pitcher his team has left. Last man standing. The 0-2 misses outside, 1-2. He was 9-2 last year at Garden City. Had a 4.34 ERA. Teammate of Reese McGraw. McGraw's already been used. All he can do is stand in the dugout and watch. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A Shoreline Golf Course strikeout. And yes, David,
why not, right?
Deserves applause. 2 away.
I know you still got to get through another guy here, John, but I mean, this is just a gutsy performance from not only Mattingly, but all really the Jays. I mean, they're so fatigued at this point.
They're fighting. They're fighting. Here's Massenberg again, a chance to be a hero. There's a strike. Massenberg, the 2-run double in the 6th inning that tied the game on a ball that Clay Cuno almost came up with. He almost had it. 1 strike to Massenberg. The pitch by Mattingly. Swing and a miss. He took something off, and it's 0-2.
And the Jays fans rise to their feet. Look at this. Does he have another
Folks,
pitch.
You got the energy.
Bring it. They got to help him out.
You got to bring it. No balls, 2 strikes. Mattingly delivers. Swing, and he fouled it off. Oh, my gosh, he almost had him. Ball popped out of the mitt. Oh,
it's close.
Sorry about that, folks. I thought he had it. I thought he had it. No balls, 2 strikes, first and second. Those are the go-ahead runs in the top of the 12th inning for Missouri State. The pitch by Mattingly. Swing and a miss! Good God, he struck him out! Good God!
Incredible. Just, you know what? And this is the time where this team has done a lot for the fans. John will finish it when we get back. How about that?
Well, we don't have any commercials left.
All right, let's keep it here. You know what? This is a time when the fans have to just somehow will the Jays. I mean, they almost have to will them because these guys give great effort night in and night out, and they're just about at the end of their ropes because...
When are they going to hit the empty, David? When?
I don't know. But you know what? Great job, Eric Mattingly.
Does this team, ladies and gentlemen,
you know who's not in
want
there?
to play extra baseball?
J.C. Casey's gone.
He's gone. He left.
What a phenomenal performance by him.
Does this Creighton Blue Jay team?
They've
got to know. They've got to know inside. They've got to know that they're postseason bound. But they are not taking one dadgum thing for granted. And they just keep fighting. Rocky Balboa is sitting against the turnbuckle in the corner.
Bleeding.
He's getting pummeled over the head time and time and time and time again. And they're still standing.
It's been a special year, John. It's a special team. Regardless of the outcome of this game, this is just an incredible performance. It honestly is.
Dan Kickham will finally enter this baseball game.
So here is the numbers on Kickham. 25th appearance. ERA is 1.57, 13 saves, 24 strikeouts, 15 walks. 7 runs he has allowed, 28 and 2/3 innings of work, and opponents hitting 194 off of him.
I've been covering college baseball for over a decade. I have never seen a team fight like this when maybe they don't have to fight. It's Anthony Bemboom to lead it off, and he takes low ball 1. Kick him.
John, very reminiscent of that 07. And you were there. You could take us through that.
The pitch is in there for a strike. It was the 12th inning. It was Andrew Small who drove home Brandon Knox with the game-winning run. The 1-1. Outside ball 2. It's Bemboom. It's Thibodeau. And it's Gerber due up here in the 12th inning. Tied at 3. In the bottom of the 12th inning. The 2-1. It's in there for a strike. Boomer thought it was low. I just don't know how this team is standing. I just don't know. But I am done asking questions about the heart and the fight.
Well, I don't know if there was ever a question about the heart and fight.
There wasn't, but
I mean, today you're right. I mean, they're probably in the postseason already. Just shows you how bad they want to compete.
Send a tape to the NCAA office and say, here, watch this. The 2-2. Swung on and hit down the line. It is hooking towards the seats on the run, and into the stands goes the ball as Matea gave it an effort trying to get that first out. The Jays haven't had a hit since the 9th. It was a leadoff single, but Bemboom couldn't get the sacrifice down, and that changed the whole scope of the inning. We're in the bottom of the 12th. Bemboom. The pitch. It's low ball 3. Gabe Thibodeau. 0 for 4 today, standing in the on-deck circle. How is this game going to end? The 3-2. He walked it. The Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska walk because walking works. Remember that.
Pinch hitter here. It'll be Joe Bowens to, I would assume, bunt, John.
I think you know it. I think the fans who have seen this baseball team know it. I think Keith Gutton and everybody in those dugouts knows it.
Job by Gabe Thibodeau as he's lifted. He fought through some real tough pitches. You have to give clap to everybody's effort today.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. He overthrew the fastball. It's low ball one. Joe Bowens, going to be a doctor. He's a junior, but he's actually a senior because he won't be playing next year. 10 sacrifices. The 1-0. He gets the bunt down towards the mound. Kickham will have to flip to first. The sacrifice is complete. And so, the winning run is in scoring position with 1 out, and it's up to Mike Gerber, and it's up to Chance Ross. And Bowens gets a standing ovation.
Absolutely. Does his job. Okay, you have a freshman up here who has some pop, has had some clutch hits in his freshman campaign.
Here's Gerber. The pitch. Low ball one. Mike is 1 for 4. He ain't a freshman anymore. He's played all year. Can he somehow deliver? Here in the 12th, the pitch. It's high ball 2. Kickham struggling to gain his control here. 2 balls, no strikes. Helms is still playing a very deep right field. The pitch. It's outside, ball 3. I'm really surprised, David, at how deep Helms is playing.
Well,
you've got it.
Yeah, I know. The only thing is he's playing, Gerber could hit, if he's playing 2 shallow, get a rocket over his head, and that's it.
Possibly. 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch. Taken for a strike, it's 3-1.
All right, pick a spot. If it's there, take a hack at it.
Remember, Bemboom not the best speed in the world at second base. That's the winning run. The 3-1. He turns on it foul, backing out of play. It's 3-2. It's Gerber and then Chance Ross. How will this game end? 3 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing. Drive center field. Going back on it is Conway. Still going back. Still going back. Makes the catch in front of the warning track. Conway with a lot of room out there, but he can cover a lot of ground. So on the play, it'll be Bemboom to third. The good news here is, no question that a single wins the game.
Single wins the game. Something freaky can win the game, John.
Wild pitch,
booted ball.
Pass ball. Neither team has made an error. Last night, there were a number of errors and mistakes. Chance Ross, 1 for 4. He was a hero against Southern Illinois in this ballpark. The pitch, in there for a strike. 90 tantalizing feet away from somehow getting to Saturday. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch. Missed outside, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Ross. Bounced in there. It got away. It got away. It got away. Jays win. Jays win. Jays win. Jays win. Jays win. It's a dog pile. Oh my God, I don't believe it. How did they do it? How did they do it? Holy cow. I don't believe what I just saw.
Unbelievable. A wild pitch gets through the wickets of Brett Marshall. Mike Gerber scores in the bottom of the 12th inning. Eric Mattingly is your winning pitcher, and the Jays go to the championship.
What did we just see?
We saw a great team show all of their heart, John. Everything they gave it there today. Dog tired, no pitching left, except Eric Mattingly, who is an outfielder who has pitched a few times here this year. And he comes and throws 2 innings of scoreless baseball, and somehow the Jays push across the run in the 12th inning.
I give up. I give up. Omaha, Nebraska, this is your baseball team. This is your baseball team.
And nobody.
And they want to play in this ballpark in the month of June.
And nobody's sitting down, and as standing ovation continues, what a scene.
I can't believe they just won this game. I am sorry if I sound like I don't believe, but I cannot believe they won this baseball game, David, because there was nothing left in the tank. There was nothing left in the tank. And they found a way to win this baseball game. 4-3 the final score. I need a drink.
This is you talk about a gut check win. You talk about an emotional win, defining the season, if you will. There's been 2 of them. 2 wins, I say, really. Last week, the clincher against Missouri State, and this one, John, shows the gut, the heart, the pride that this team has, and the belief in themselves as well. They just never give up, ever. And somehow, when it's all against them, Rocky finds the knockout punch.
4-3 the final score. Jays will play tomorrow night. Who they're going to pitch, God only knows. We'll be back with the Rotella's Bakery postgame show right after this on 1620 The Zone.